Okay, let me buckle up this seatbelt because this annoying ass car will fucking beep and bitch and complain the whole time like it's a woman. If I don't buckle it up, it'll just keep on going. But what's up, guys? I'm about to start doing some. Oh wow, my 1%. That's great. But it is that time of the night when I switch over from doing like regular Uber to like Uber Eats and stuff. Mainly because, you know, like I always tell people, after like a certain hour, after like 12 a.m., I really don't feel like picking people up from bars or clubs. Today's Thursday, so there's a lot of people getting out from the bars and the clubs. And I don't want to risk picking anyone up that's going to vomit in my car or something. It's, you know, it's a risk that comes with the job, but it's not a risk that you have to take. You can just choose not to pick people up after a certain time. So then that's when I switch over to like doing DoorDash or like, you know, Uber Eats, whichever one's busier for the night. And I'll work it until like about 2:30 in the morning. And within those 2 to 3 hours, I'll usually make like an additional $60 from just doing DoorDash. Because at this time of the night, DoorDash is pretty expensive. There's like huge surcharges for anyone that orders food. So usually like each order is usually about like $15. I'll pick up like about 4 orders, maybe 5, and then I'll be done afterwards. I'll be done for the night. And that's usually when I go home and jump on the sticks, play some 2K26 my team, eat dinner, catch up on some sports highlights, and that's when I unwind. And I usually get home around 2:30. And today I'm just dragging ass all over the place because I got home really late last night. I think it was like around 3 in the morning. And then I ate dinner. You know, I did some unwinding. I smoked up a J. I started playing some video games. I started catching up on some sports highlights. And then this morning, I didn't go to sleep until like 10:45 in the morning and shit. So like my sleep schedule is like all over the place right now. And I'm just completely exhausted and stuff. And I just hope I have some energy left to play like some video games tonight. Because lately, I have to admit that I've been so tired. And it's not really that I've been tired. When I get home, by the time I get home, I'm not that tired and shit. What it is that by the time, what it is lately, the game has just been really boring and stuff. For those of you that don't know, I'm really big into NBA 2K26 my team. And just lately, I don't know what's going on with the game, but it feels like there's nothing left to do in the game. The game feels like it's just plateaued. And there's just nothing left or nothing much for me to do in it. So I'm not really in a big rush to get home and play video games lately. It's just, I just go home, I complete the simple challenges that I need to complete for the day. I get whatever needs to be done, you know, done. And then I play like about 5, 6. Yesterday I did play 7 games of Showdown, and out of 7 games I won 5 of them. So I had a pretty good night. It's just that, like I said, the game's been getting a little bit boring, a little bit lame, and just not much to do in it lately. So nowadays, instead of rushing home, I've been choosing to like stay out on the road and just work extra, you know, make some extra money, you know, work some overtime and see if I can make some extra funds, because everything is so damn expensive nowadays. You need money for every little thing. Heck, if I want to enjoy the video games that I love, you know, you got to put money into it, you know. So every little thing requires money nowadays. You got to go to the supermarket, you need money. You want to go shopping to the mall, you need money. You want to do something entertaining and fun, you need money. You want to go out to a theme park or to a bar, or you need money. You need money for every little thing. So you know, that's why I'm out here nowadays working more overtime than just getting home and playing video games. A, I need money, and B, the game just hasn't been that fun to me lately. It's just been like, maybe it's because it's been 2.5 years of playing the same old type of basketball game, you know, over and over. And, you know, each year with this game, they make you restart, you know, the whole cycle over. And you got to start from season 1 again and work your way up to season 10. But, I don't know. Just lately, the video games haven't been doing it for me. Maybe I need a new game to play. But this one that that I'm normally itching to rush home and play. I'm just not itching to rush home and play it anymore. I'd rather be out here on the road trying to find some orders to deliver or some people to pick up and just make that extra money. And the summertime is right around the corner. My son gets off of school in like 2 weeks, and I know I'm gonna need some extra money to take him out to like theme parks and stuff like that. I want to be able to do a lot of stuff with him this summer and just make him really happy. You know, that's like my major goal in life. My main goal in life is just to make my son happy and keep him happy, you know, for as long as I can, as long as I'm on this God-given earth. I just want to, you know, make my boy happy and keep him happy. And right before I left the house earlier today, I was kind of arguing with my girl, and I hate when me and my girl are arguing, because we'll argue over the dumbest of things. And you know, and I hate arguing in front of my boy and in front of my son and shit like that. And it's just, that's the one thing that gets on my absolute nerves, is like when she's over there copping so much attitude, you know, in front of my son. And, you know, I'm over here telling her like, hey, I don't ever want to argue in front of my son. I don't want him to see that side of us. You know, I don't want him to see that side of me and you arguing or being mean to each other or something. And she'll just go off at the mouth, and then I can't take it because I got a temper. And then I'll go off at the mouth, and next thing you know, we're both yelling and screaming, you know, in front of my boy. And I just hate doing that. It makes me feel bad. It ruins my whole fucking day, and it just puts me in a bad mood. Yo, Mamba forever, that's for sure. Yep, thanks, Sam. I'll keep my eyes on the road for sure. But yeah, Mamba forever. Mamba, you know, and I always like to talk basketball. So the second somebody gives me a reason to talk hoops, I'm gonna talk it. But guys, I cannot, you know, as much as I love, you know, not that I love King James, as much as I like King James, and as much as I've gotten used to, like, you know, King James being a Laker nowadays, after that last performance, and I know he had a really good performance in round 1 against the Houston Rockets, but you gotta remember, those Houston Rockets was missing like KD and like other people from the team and shit. So it was pretty easy for LeBron to look good and get past, you know, the Houston Rockets, and to help his son look good in the game and stuff like that. And even though AR-15 and Luka Doncic was injured, it was still easy for him to beat the Rockets and get past them, because the Rockets essentially had no one on the team left. So as much as I started liking LeBron, you know, I still can't. You know, I know there's a lot of people that say LeBron is better than Michael and Kobe. I don't know what the fuck they're smoking on, but I can barely bring myself to I got King James in the top 10, and nowadays I find myself not even able to put LeBron over Steph Curry. You know, I'm like, on my top 10 list, you know, I got LeBron number 9 and I got Steph number 8, and that's as high as I'm gonna put LeBron. I'm not gonna put him ahead of people like that I have ahead of him, like Steph Curry and Shaq. I'm just going to keep him at number 9, because for me, LeBron James doesn't have enough chips and hasn't done enough in his career to be the GOAT, or be number 2, or, you know, be number 3 or 4. If somebody wants to say, make an argument, is he a top 5 player? Is he maybe the 3rd best thing we've ever seen after Michael and Kobe? That I'll let you say yes to, but anything else to say like, oh, he's as skilled as a Michael or a Kobe, I can't agree with that. I can't say that, you know, in all honesty. So, you know, to me, I just, you know, unless LeBron wins a 5th ring, that's the only way he could be a top 5 player, or a player that you got to mention after you mention Michael and Kobe. The only reason why LeBron is in that conversation is because he's made himself a part of that conversation. He's made it that when you mention Michael, you got to mention him. That's not true. That's not the way it was, and that's not the way it used to be, and that's not the way it is. When you used to mention Michael, the only thing that used to come to people's mind is like, damn, the closest thing to Michael is Kobe. Because that's the truth. Those are facts. All LeBron has done is good marketing and good campaigning and good branding, you know, but is he Michael? Is he Kobe? Nah, LeBron James ain't nowhere near Michael or Kobe. That's the truth, and those are facts. And if you look up, if you're really serious about the GOAT debate and you really want to know, you know, who's the best, who's the GOAT, and you really want to end the conversation, it doesn't take much work, much effort to look into it, you know, and Check out the stats, check out the numbers, check out the records that are being held by Michael and Kobe, the records they broke, just their accomplishments. And not only that, but you don't even have to do all of that. You just have to look and say, hey, who's got the most rings? You know, it's ring culture. I don't know like what LeBron fans or any LeBron fans are even talking about or thinking, but like sports is all about getting rings. You know, people don't play basketball or hockey or baseball or football just to pat their stats. Those guys, those trained professionals, those professional athletes, they're out there to do one thing and one thing only, and that's win championships for their legacy and for their organization. It's not about their branding or their marketing and stuff like that. It's about winning championships, because winning championships is what's going to determine and form your legacy. Winning championships is going to determine how people perceive you and where you rank amongst the greatest. So to me, like, as much as I like LeBron, especially now that he's a Laker, I still to this day cannot put him over Michael and Kobe. I can't put him over people that have 5 to 6 rings, because like I said, that's what everyone is playing for in professional sports. They're not playing for longevity. They're not playing to be the leader in scoring or in defense or in assist or rebounds. They're not playing for any of those. Those things are all secondary. Those things don't matter when in comparison to a championship ring. So for me, until LeBron gets that 5th ring, and I don't mean like he gets a 5th ring because he's being carried by another super team that he forms because he went and teamed up with KD and Steph Curry or some shit. I mean, it was a championship that he's putting the team on his back and he's carrying them to the promised land. He's carrying them to the ring. He's responsible for the chip. He got the MVP. Not, a championship because he formed super teams and put 3 other superstars on his team. At this age, if he wins another championship due to forming another super team, that credit is just going to go to the players that he teamed up with. So I don't care how long he's around or longevity records, for LeBron to be in that top 5, for LeBron to be in that category with the Michael and Kobe and Kareem and Magic Johnson and Tim Duncan and people that have 5 rings or more, you need that 5th ring. You can't just say, oh, well, look, I came really close to that 5th ring and then I padded all of my stats around it. That doesn't make you a champion. It doesn't make you a GOAT. It just, it just means you did really good marketing and really good branding, and that's how I feel about King James, is that he was really good at branding himself, really good at marketing, and really good at padding his stats. And he needed the longevity. He needed the longevity, and he needed to play as long as possible to break those records that people like Michael and Kobe set, because it was going to take a long time to surpass Michael and Kobe in 30-point games or something like that. And to be honest, that's the only thing that he's really surpassed them in is, those 30-point games, 40-point games, 50-point games, 60-point games. Michael and Kobe kill him in those stats. In defensive stats, like being on the all-defensive first team, Michael was on it 9 times. Kobe was on it 12 straight times. LeBron was only on it for 6 times. That means he was half as good on defense. That's honestly what it means. So as much as I like the King, I can't say that he's on the same level as, as a Michael or a Kobe and shit. So that's why I don't, have him ranked too high. And that's why, I as much as I like him, I can't rank him any higher, and I just don't feel like ranking him any higher, and I don't think he deserves. Most importantly, I don't think he deserves to be ranked any higher. But this is Orlando, guys. Home sweet home. Lately, I've been feeling like the roads are my home because, I'm just always on the road, either picking people up or dropping people off. But nowadays, it's like I practically live on the road. I guess that's not true. I'm only in the car for about 4 to 6 hours a night. But still, 4 to 6 hours on the road feels like forever. So, and there goes the good old Popo. Just, I'm doing 45. I wonder how fast he's going. He's got to be going much faster than me. Oh, that sucks. What I like to do is whenever I'm about to pull up next to a cop, I always just go right behind them. You don't ever want to go in front of a police officer, because the only thing they're going to be doing is punching in your tag numbers the second that you get in front of them. But this is the UCF living areas. I'm always in this area dropping off food and stuff because it's a busy area even at night. There's like 95,000 students on campus. So even at nighttime, this area stays pretty busy with delivering food. But to be honest, it's looking pretty dead right now. It's only 11:55, and I still haven't gotten an order or a ping. And usually at this time, I'm like. But another thing is that it is a Thursday night, and most of these kids are probably already at the bars, already at the clubs, you know, drinking it up. So I don't know how busy it's gonna be out here today, because there might not be many people that are ordering at this time. But like I said, I did start really late. I was pretty busy with doing just regular Uber and stuff, and then I was like, hey, let me jump on the DoorDash and see if I could have another good night like I did yesterday. Yeah, that's good. But last night, I think I started like at 12 and I finished at 2, and I ended up with an extra $60 in my pockets. So that's what I would like to do today, is hopefully make an extra like $40 to $60 for the night. And usually when I do DoorDash at nighttime or Uber Eats, if I start like around 12 and I finish around 2:30, I normally make an extra $40 to $60. But I just don't know if that's gonna happen today, because it's really pretty slow, pretty dead. So I'm gonna drive around for a little bit, see if I make some money. If I don't get any sort of pings like within this first like hour or so, like I think I'm just gonna call it a night and go home, because it is really slow out here and really dead. Usually by this time I already have like a couple of orders already waiting for me, and so far I think I've had the app on for 17 minutes and I haven't gotten any pings, and usually it doesn't take that long. It says there's a 2 to 8 minute wait in this area before you get a ping for like a delivery. So let's see if in the next 2 to 8 minutes I get a ping. But there is a lot of cops out here today, and I guess it's because it's Thursday, and a lot of the UCF kids, a lot of the college kids, they have turned Orlando into like a party city. So come Thursday, like this whole city, everyone's already partying. Like they're already starting the weekend early. So let's see what happens. Let's see if it gets busy. Let's see if I can make some money, and let's see if I can get some orders and deliver them. But right now it's looking pretty dead, pretty dead. So I don't know if I'm gonna be out here much longer. I might be out here for just a little bit longer and then head home. But you never know, it might pick up, and I'm hoping it does pick up. I'd be real happy. Now, looking at how dead it is right now, I'd be real happy if I just make an extra $30, maybe 40, and just put some gas and pocket some money for the night. But I did really good with with Uber and Lyft earlier. I made $200 like always. But after midnight, I always turn off those two apps and I just do DoorDash and Uber Eats in hopes of making like an extra $40 to $60. The $200 that I make, from DoorDash, from Uber and Lyft each day, that mostly goes to bills and like my checking and my savings account. And I hate dipping out of my savings. I never like dipping out of I don't like touching my savings, bills, gas, food, nothing like that. So doing DoorDash or like Uber Eats at the end of the night gives me like some extra money so I could spend it on things that I like video games or comic books, stuff like that I don't want to, take money out of my, savings and dip into that, just to play video games or buy some comic books or something like that. So I'll do like a couple of hours of DoorDash each night just to have some extra money in my pockets so I can do the things I like to do in life without my girl complaining about it constantly. I don't know what's been going on with my girl today, but maybe she's on the rag or something. I don't know, but today she just came home in an extremely bad mood. She was in a bad mood the whole day, just starting arguments with everyone in the house. And sometimes it like mentally like wears me out. Like all the arguing she does constantly for little things and bickering for little things. And I always try to tell people, life is too short to be arguing and bickering and fighting over little minute things. And I had told her that, like, hey, you're going to bed. I need 2 cell phones, you know, one to run the apps like DoorDash and Lyft and stuff like that. And then I need another cell phone so I can stream on it. I said, you're going to sleep, you're putting the baby to bed. There's no reason why you need the phone with you. And she wanted to make the argument that she wanted her phone and she didn't want the phone to go anywhere and she needed. And I'm like, you know, and then afterwards, of course, after it blew up into an argument and she's yelling and I'm yelling, of course, and then it becomes, you know, and then after I storm out of the house, and then it becomes, oh, come get the phone, I'll give it to you. But first she wanted to have like a huge argument about it. And I absolutely hate and despise arguing in front of my 8-year-old son. I hate it when we get mad and angry in front of him. I hate it when we're yelling at each other in front of him. I hate it when, you know, he sees us arguing and cussing each other out or something like that. And that's the last, you know, thing I want my son to see. I don't want him to see that side of mom and dad arguing and stuff like that. Now, I know every couple argues and every parent argues, but, you know, I always try to tell my girl, like, hey, let's try to have as little arguments as possible in front of our son, because I didn't like it when I was a kid and I used to see my mom and dad argue. So I was just like, you know, why would I do that to my boy? Why would I put him through that experience? But she doesn't seem to care sometimes, and she'll just start an argument for any little reason about any little thing. And I feel like nowadays in 2026, women have just taken like arguing and fighting like way too far, and they've taken it to like the next fucking level, into the next extreme. You know, so many arguments between a couple could be like settled in such like an easy way. Like, you know, it doesn't have to escalate into like an ugly argument and an ugly fight in front of your kid. And I always try to tell my girl that, but it goes in one ear and out the other. And sometimes I wonder what happened to the days of like where a man would just say something and a woman just used to have to listen. It was, you know, the man was the law of the house, and he ruled the house, and it was his way or the highway, you know. And I just don't understand what happened to the days of the man, the father, being in charge of the household. And like those days are like gone. Like, women don't want to listen at all, like not one bit, to a guy. They just want to do whatever the fuck they want to do, whenever they want to do it, and how they want to do it. And I'm not realizing that there's consequences to stuff. And sometimes I feel like, you know, especially in America, and or like just in the world in general, things have to go back to the way they used to be, and where the father, the husband, the dad was in charge of the household and led the way for the household. When instead nowadays, if a man tries to lead the household, you know, your woman, your girl starts an argument with you around, you know, every corner, every inch of the way, just to get, you know, just to get her to listen for one thing, or not start an argument about such minute things. So I always try to tell my girl, like, hey, you know, I know you had a hard day at work, and I know you're stressing and you had a real stressful day, but like, I don't care how stressful your day is. I don't want any arguing in front of my son. I don't want any arguing in front of our boy. You know, I went through that as a kid, you know, always seeing my mom and dad arguing and having an aggressive dad. I don't want him to have to see that or experience that, you know. You know, I want to make my son happy through life and keep him happy. You know, I want him to live a happy-go-lucky life. He's only 8. You know, he shouldn't have to see his mom and dad screaming and arguing at the top of their lungs, cussing each other out just for, you know, some stupid reasons. And then, you know, if you do that in front of your kid, you pass down those bad, you know, traits, those bad habits. And next thing you know, your kid is growing up and he's got a family, and now he's putting his family through the same shit, you know. And I always try to tell my girl, like, I don't want us arguing in front of my boy. Like, I don't care if you want to argue with me behind closed doors and you want to talk about something behind closed doors, but we're not going to be doing this arguing and yelling and cussing each other out, you know, in front of my son. Like, that's not what I want for him in life, and that's not what I intend for him to have to deal with. So it gets pretty ridiculous sometimes, the stuff she argues about. And I always try to tell her, like, hey, let's not be arguing about just dumb, stupid, minute things. But like I said, sometimes it goes in one ear and out the other, and trying to get a woman to listen nowadays is just practically impossible. I'm not saying we got to go back to the days like in the 1940s or 50s where if the woman didn't listen to a man, the man gave her a good smacking or some shit. But I do feel like we need to go back to the days of like where the man was in charge of the household and he led the way. It shouldn't fucking matter of who makes more money in the relationship and that dictates who's in control of the household. Like, no, money doesn't have anything to do with it. You know, I hate to say it, but, you know, I mean, not that I hate to say it, but I hate to remind women, but that's what it says in the Bible. You know, it says the man is in charge, the father's in charge, the husband's in charge, the man leads the way for the household, and that's it. I've got the dick and balls, you got the vagina. I'm a man, you're a woman. You listen to the man of the household. I never heard anyone say you've got to listen to the woman of the household, or the woman of the household leads and protects the house. It's the man's job. Key, I just got on 20 minutes ago. So I don't know what the fuck is your problem, but if you don't like it, you could fuck off, dickhead. And just like that, I just remove you. Later, Key. Yeah, that's the end of you. Have fun on some other channel and go troll someone else. Guys, I'll be back. I just got to pick up this order. I'll be back in 2 seconds. This is the UCF like campus area, like where they do all the like shopping and like there's a bunch of restaurants in here, but it's mainly for the UCF college students. So I'm just going to go pick up this order and I'll be back. Okay, guys, I'm back. It is 2:07. We're about to take off. This is a 12-minute trip. It says it's 12 minutes away. It should have paid more than what I'm getting for it. But it's not exactly that late. So the surcharges really haven't gone up. But it is an $8 order for something that we're dropping off 12 minutes away. So I think that's pretty good. That's not bad, you know, to make $8 in 12 minutes. I think that's a W. And that's kind of why I always recommend these type of jobs like DoorDash and Uber Eats and stuff like that. You must give a shit because you're still here, Key. That must mean you have no life whatsoever if you're here watching someone you don't give a shit about. Bye-bye. I cannot stand losers like Key, whatever his name was. It's like you see somebody doing something positive, you see somebody, you know, talking and stuff, or like, you know, trying to entertain or, you know, have fun with streaming, and they want to come in here and be a huge troll. Like, get a life, Key. Go somewhere else, do something else, bother somebody else, go troll somebody else in another stream. But don't bother me. I've already had a bad enough day. And I've already argued enough, you know, for the day and had a huge argument with my girl. I don't need a troll coming in here trying to rage bait me like some loser. But you would think that people would have something better to do with their time instead of trying to rage bait and argue with streamers, people that they don't even know. You would think they would have something else and something better to do with their time and their lives. Instead, they'd rather come into a chat room, into a stream, disturb the chat room and disturb someone's stream and argue and troll for no reason. Troll on someone they don't even know. Because I mentioned the word Jesus? Good Lord, like, you got problems then. That's Key. And it's funny because what the trolls do is then they come underneath a different name. So they're trolling you. They're telling you you have no life and that you're talking too much and to go find something else to do. But then they want to come in your stream, chat, and hang out and troll on you. That sounds pretty pathetic, and that sounds really loserish. It sounds like you got nothing else to do. So why not go find something else to do with your life and your time instead of just bothering, you know, people on stream on YouTube, instead of being just a troll? Like, go find something else to do with your life. Obviously, some people must enjoy, like, listening to me talk or enjoy the scenery and enjoy me driving around, because yesterday I got 775 views off of this. And the day before that, I got 350 views. So obviously someone's, you know, some people are enjoying it. If you're not enjoying it, the only thing I can tell you is kick rocks and go to another stream and go find someone else to troll. But don't waste my time with that negativity. And like I try to tell people, life is too short to be like so upset constantly and so negative about things. You could be here today and gone tomorrow. And what did you waste your life on? Trolling somebody that you don't know in a stream? It's like, that's pretty pathetic. Like, I would just go find something else to do with my life at that point, you know, instead of just like conjuring up negative energy and just being so negative. It's just terrible. But in this world nowadays, there's a lot of negativity, and it does suck. And I'm trying to make sure that I don't raise my boy around negativity or in front of negativity. I just don't want him to be influenced by negative energy. And there's just too much negativity in this world nowadays. The crazy part is that you could be a really negative person, and it always seems like the negative voice in the room or the negative people are the ones that are always getting the attention and always being heard. So that kind of sucks. But we're 8 minutes away from dropping off this delivery, and then we'll be on to the next one. And like I said, this delivery was for $8 and it was only 12 minutes away. That's really good. Some people only make about $15 an hour. So if you get to make $8 in just 12 minutes of dropping off an item, you know, you're ahead of the curve. So I always tell people, like, you know, these jobs pay pretty damn good. And you could work them whenever you want, make your own hours, your own schedule, and it really helps, you know, with, like, in life. It helps having a flexible schedule like this. Like right now, I stood home, you know, until my boy went to sleep, and then after my boy went to sleep, I was like, hey, now it's time for me to get to work after I already had the chance to spend a whole day with my son. And to me, it doesn't get any better than that. Like a job where you're allowed to clock in whenever you want and clock in whatever days you want and however many hours. It just allows you for the ultimate freedom. And most importantly, I don't have a boss over my head. I get to do whatever I want. If I want to smoke up a joint while I'm dropping off orders, I can do that. You know, I don't have anyone. I am my own boss. So that's what I like about the job. It's real easy, real simple. You don't even have to think about anything to do it. You just got to pick up the order, drop it off, and that's the end of it. I just want to make sure in life that when my son grows up, he can get a better job and has better and more opportunities than I did in life. You know, I want to make sure he gets to go to college, and that, you know, when I was a kid in high school, my mom was a single mom. She didn't have money saved up for me to go to college. You know, we didn't have a college savings account. We were a poor family coming, you know, from the boogie down Bronx, from Bronx, New York. You know, we were lucky we were able to just get out of New York and get to Orlando and buy a house. You know, we used up all of our money just to buy the house cash and not have a rent or mortgage. You know, she didn't have more money on top of that for a college fund. So when my boy gets to that age, I want to make sure that I have a college fund for him and he's ready to be able to go to college worry-free and doesn't have to worry about tuition or paying, you know, for books. You know, I want him to know that, hey, everything's been paid off and, you know, you just got to go to school and get them good grades and make Dada happy. Make Dada proud and stuff. But that's all I want from him, is just to have a good future and That's why I can't stand when me and my girl are arguing in front of him, because I'm like, you know, hey, I don't want to give him that stereotypical life where, you know, parents are arguing in front of their kids, and, you know, that kind of stuff, you know, I want to say could, you know, just can affect a kid, you know, and I don't want to affect him in that negative way, you know, with me and my girl arguing in front of him. So I always try to, you know, preach positivity, you know, to everyone in life. No matter what you're doing, you should just always try to stay positive and look for the more positive side of things. You know, that's the only way you can get through shit, is if you try to stay positive in life. So that's what I always try to tell people. That's what I always try to tell my girl. That's what I try to teach my little boy is, you know, stay positive and look at the positive side of things, and don't always be so like stressed out and influenced by like the negativity in the world. And that's why I love playing video games at the end of the night. I love going home and playing some My Team and just getting my mind off of like how stressful the day was and just relaxing. And it's just me and my video games. You know, my wife is asleep, my kid is asleep, my mom is asleep, and it's just time for me to relax once I get home from work. And I can't wait till I get home and play some video games and just relax for a little bit and catch up on some of the NBA playoff highlights and shit and find out who won. But today I didn't do much. I slept in for most of the day, and then when I woke up I was still like just dragging ass and so tired, because last night I didn't get home until like 3 in the morning. I worked the whole night, and then I didn't go to bed until like really late into the morning. Until like it was like 10:30, 10:45 when I went to bed. And then when I woke up, it was like 6 in the evening. And then I started my day Ubering from 6 to 12. And then from 12 to 2, I do DoorDash. But it's been a really long day of just working and being bored and doing nothing much, really. I did watch Back to the Future with my son. We were watching Back to the Future Part 2. He has seen it for his first time. We just started watching Back to the Future yesterday. And I introduced him to Back to the Future Part 1. And then we watched Back to the Future Part 2 today. And he absolutely loved it. And it was such a great feeling being able to introduce him to something that I grew up on and something that I loved as a kid. And so we're going to finish off the trilogy this weekend. I'll probably watch Part 3 with them. And of course, I'm going to watch Part 3 with them. And we'll finish off the trilogy. And I'm just like, when I look at him, you know, watching a movie that I grew up on and him being so happy and, you know, having fun with me, it just makes my day. It makes me happy. And that's the only thing that really makes me happy in life nowadays is seeing my son happy. And for those of you that don't have kids, when you become a parent, you'll finally understand what I'm talking about. Like, that is the only thing that will bring you happiness once you have a kid, is when you see your kid is healthy and happy and doing good in life. That for me brings me the most joy and happiness in life, is seeing my kid happy. And when he's not happy, I'm not happy. If there's something wrong with him, I'm just constantly worried. So I always just try in life just to make sure that he's constantly kept happy and that I'm always making him happy. That's my goal as a dad. And I think that should be everyone's goal as a parent. If you're a parent and you have kids, you know, your goal should be to make your kids happy and keep them happy and provide everything you could possibly provide for them in life. You know, my mom and dad, you know, and my dad was always busy working. He was at work by 5, 6 in the morning, and he didn't come home until 5, 6 in the evening. Did he provide? Did he make sure I have everything in life? As far as it goes with like clothing and like food and shelter and eventually having enough money to buy a house cash without any rent or mortgage, yeah, he did those things. But he was so busy constantly working. You know, I hardly ever had a chance to spend any time with my dad before he passed away. He passed away when I was like 12, and I barely knew the man. So for my kid, I want to make things different. I want to make sure it's, you know, not like that with my kid. I want to make sure he's got a completely different upbringing. But sorry for all the heavy talking. If anybody wants to talk about anything else, movies, TV shows, I'm into like a lot of Marvel and Marvel TV shows and comic books and stuff like that. So if anybody wants to talk about any subject, just let me know what you want to talk about. As long as it's something that I'm into and that I could hold a conversation about, I'll talk to you about it. Like I said, I love conspiracy theories. I love comics. I love Marvel. I love sci-fi movies and shows. I love basketball, I love boxing, and those are pretty much my main interest, you know, besides my family and stuff. Anything, what is going on with this light? Because I have been here for quite some time now and the light is not turning green. I don't know how long I've been here, but I'm gonna just make a right and then I'm gonna make a U-turn into the store or something, because I have been at that light for at least 3 to 4 minutes and it's not turning green. I can't believe it took me that long to notice that that light wasn't turning green. And that kind of sucks, because that's gonna have me late for this delivery. That's one thing you don't want to do is when you're doing like DoorDash and Uber Eats, being late for these deliveries really affects your ratings and how much deliveries the algorithms will send you. So you always got to make sure that you're picking up everything on time and you're dropping it off on time, or else you kind of like fall out of, you know, the algorithms and they don't favor you and they don't send you good deliveries and you don't get many deliveries, you know. And at this time, you know, there's probably not much of a demand, but I'm probably the only person out here picking up orders, so I should get most of the orders for the night. And last night I did really good. I did $60 in 2 hours, and I'm hoping today I'll do something similar, like 40 to 60 bucks in 2 hours. That'd be pretty good. To me, if I can come out here and make an extra 40 to 60 bucks in this time frame of 2 hours at this time of the night, I think that's really, really good money to just pocket and stuff. And like I said, you know, I need some extra money to do the things I enjoy doing in life. You know, it really does suck how expensive everything is in life right now, and it really does suck when you don't have the money to do the extra things in life that make you happy. So if you want to do the extra things in life that make you happy, you gotta A, pay for it, and you B, you gotta go to work for it and earn it. Okay, I'm at a gate. Let's see if these people were smart enough to include the gate code. They did. Let me punch it in real quick, guys. Ooh, and it's the correct gate code. Sometimes I'll have people that give me the gate code to get in, but then it's the wrong gate code. All right. We're about 4 minutes. This apartment complex has got to be really big if it's going to take 5 minutes for me to get to their front door and shit. And I'm already in the complex. Actually, it's not an apartment complex. It's a subdivision. It's a community. It looks like a pretty nice community. It looks like these houses are somewhere worth around like 300,000, maybe 5. Nowadays, ever since the pandemic, before the pandemic, most of the houses in Orlando used to be about 330,000. Now in Orlando, those same houses that used to be 300 to 330,000 are about $500,000. They're $500,000 homes, even though they shouldn't be. But that's how bad the inflation has gotten, and that's how bad the economy has gotten. That, you know, an affordable city like Orlando, which it used to be a really affordable city to live in, I want to say now Orlando is pretty expensive to live in, and I want to say it's comparable to like all the other major cities like New York, Chicago, LA. It is just as expensive to live here nowadays. So, and since cost of living is so much, you got to put in the OT. You got to put in some work hours. But this is my area. This is my neck of the woods. I think I'm like about 10 minutes away from where I live. Usually when you're doing DoorDash and Uber Eats, it keeps you like near your house. It keeps you within that area. It really doesn't take you like too far out. The farthest out I might go doing like DoorDash and Lyft is like, DoorDash and Uber Eats is like maybe downtown Orlando. I'll get like a ping that requires me to drop off and deliver the food in like downtown Orlando. But most of the time I'm in the area. And I like to stay within the area. I don't like traveling too far away from the area because I want to make sure that I don't end up in a bad neighborhood where I got to get out my car, drop something off in front of the doorstep in a bad neighborhood. So I usually try to stay around where I live in Orange County on the east side of town. and safe no matter where I'm at. Like right now, I'm not scared of like, you know, getting out my car and dropping off, you know, in front of the door. But if it was like in a bad neighborhood, I'd probably be pretty scared right now. So as long as I'm in a good neighborhood, I don't mind doing this after I get off of work, after I'm done with like Lyft and Uber. But thanks for everyone stopping through. If everybody that stops through could click like and like up the stream and sub up, I'd really appreciate that. It'd make my day. I'm on the way to 5,000 subs. I just hit 2,025 subs, and I'm on my way to 5,000. I guess I'm really just trying to push it to 3. That's I would love it if I can get it to 3,000 subs by the end of the summer. That'd be a really great goal to accomplish. But this is it. This is my neighborhood. Well, not my neighborhood. This is just pretty close to where I live. I don't know if today I forgot to put a title for my thumbnail, but I think I did. Oh, and I passed the house because I was paying attention to the stream. Not that there's anyone chatting in it right now. Okay, let me drop off this order. Ooh, am I delivering this? Okay, it's on the left. I thought I was delivering it to those police officers for a second. All right, let me go drop this off in front of the house and I'll be back, guys. And we just made $12, no, $8 on a 12-minute trip. Not too shabby. I'll be back. All right, I am back, chat. And just like that, we got the trip delivered in 12 minutes. And in those 12 minutes, made $8. Not too shabby. A couple of more of those type of trips. And hopefully we have another good night like we did yesterday, where I made $60 in 2 hours. I'm hoping tonight we can have a similar night. But I'd be real happy if I get to make like an extra $40 for the night. I'll be happy with that. I would say I'm gonna take that $40, go home and spending on my video games, but I don't know. Just lately the game hasn't been hitting for me. Okay, I gotta put in my address on the GPS because I don't know where the fuck I'm going right now. Well, this is not good. Well, this ain't good. I just realized I'm down to 2 miles of gas left, and I don't know how close any gas station is. So I'm just gonna hope that I make it to the gas station. I always ask my girl, like, hey, the way I put gas in the car for you to go to work the night before, when you get off of work and you're driving home, can you please put gas in the car so I have gas for when I go to work? She left me with 17 miles of gas in the gallon, knowing that I do Uber and DoorDash and stuff like that, and that I need gas. This job depends on me having gas in the gas tank. Did she put any gas in the car today when she left work and was coming home? Nope. So now I've got 2 miles of gas, and we have to see if we make it to a gas station. I'm in like BFE. I don't know if any gas stations nearby me, but let's just hope I make it to the gas station before I run out of 2 miles of gas. And in this world, if we just help each other out a little bit, we can make life a little bit easier for the next person and for the next and for the next. But like, I feel like nowadays everyone is just looking out for their own good, and that's it. No one wants to help the next man out. Not to say that my girl doesn't help me out or she doesn't do anything for me. She is great. I love her. It's just today we were arguing like cats and dogs over just the dumbest shit. And I hate when we argue in front of, you know, our son. And I hate when he sees that side of us, and I hate when he sees us arguing. You know, it doesn't make any kid happy to see his parents arguing or cussing each other out. And so I really hate when that happens and shit. It not only like it affects him, but it affects me too. Like it just throws off my whole day and just ruins my day. It just makes me upset, like, you know, that we got into an argument. She was upset because I told her, hey, you know, you're going to bed. Can I have your phone so I can go out there, you know, DoorDash and also stream at the same time? And I don't know what's up with people needing their phone like right by their side when they're sleeping, but that is ridiculous. Like, I told her, hey, you're about to go to bed. I just need your phone for a little bit. But she started an argument over it, and at the end, I think she realized we were both wrong for like arguing about it, and she just gave me the phone. So now I'm out here doing some DoorDash for at least another hour and a half. I want to say I'm gonna be out here, maybe 2, and I'm just gonna try to hit about 60 bucks. Hit, you know, add an extra $60 into my pockets on top of the money I made for Uber earlier today. And that'd be a nice way to end the day, you know, some extra money in my pockets so I can do the things I enjoy doing in life. I would like to say that maybe after I make some extra money tonight, I'm gonna go home and spend it on some video games. But lately the game that I'm into, Indie2K, it just has not been hitting for me. It has not been entertaining me much, and it's just been boring the shit out of me. And oh, I have a Toyota Camry. But at the house, Wolves, I got a Porsche 928. I have a 1986 Porsche 928 at the house. It is a classic vintage car. The only problem with it is that after the pandemic, I had parked the Porsche in the garage, and you know, we weren't going anywhere. We couldn't leave the house, you know, for like a whole year. So I was only driving the car around the neighborhood, to like take it out of the garage once in a while and give it a spin around the neighborhood. But I remember one day I went to start the car up, and it just wouldn't start for whatever reason. And ever since the pandemic, the Porsche has now just been sitting in the garage collecting dust. I haven't started the car in like 4 to 5 years, and I don't know how much it's gonna cost me to repair that car and get it running and back on the road. I would like to fix the car and sell the Porsche. That's my plan, is to sell it. But I don't know why or how, but ever since my little boy was a kid, I'm talking about the ages of 1 or 2, he's been like so fascinated by that Porsche 928 and so captivated by it that today he was telling me, Dad, I don't ever want to see you sell the Porsche. You know, when I'm 15, which is in 7 years from now, I want to be able to get my driver's permit, and I want to be able to drive that car to school. Now, that sounds great. I would love to be able to pass on the car that my mother helped me get when I was a teenager and pass it on to my teenage son. But I feel like the car is not going to be safe to drive, it comes 7 years from now. It's not even a safe car to drive nowadays. It doesn't have anti-lock brakes or, airbags in it. It's pretty much a race car. That's what the car is. It has a V8 engine in it that pushes 350 horses. And I'm not sure if I want to pass it on to him, but he loves the car and he wants it. So I was like thinking of maybe one day, like sometime soon, dragging the car out of the garage, and like me and him make it a father-son project, a father-son car project, and we start working on the car together. This way, by the time those 7 years go by and he's ready to get his permit, the car will be ready for him to drive and own, and I'll pass it on to him. But I still don't think it's a good idea. I think it's a storybook idea. I just don't think it's a good practical idea. Oh my gosh, Wolves, you didn't buy 2K? Wow, I didn't know you had a boat. That's nice, my dude. You must be making good money. Must be doing good in life, Wolves. Anyone that has extra money to spare on a boat is always doing good in life. I don't have the extra money to spare on a boat, and I always hear boats are like money pits, that it always takes like so much money to maintain a boat. But I bought myself a vintage classic, automobile once when I was a kid. I got myself a Porsche 928, and I love the car. It's one of the coolest things I ever bought in my life. That's how much I love the car. It's just that people have to remember, when you buy a car like a Porsche, a BMW, a Mercedes, a Ferrari, a Lamborghini, it's not that you can't find sometimes a car that's affordable or a budget, within your budget. The problem with those cars is that maintaining a Porsche, maintaining a Ferrari or a Lamborghini or a BMW or a Mercedes, that's where the problem comes in, is that maintaining those cars. When those cars break down, they don't have just like a $300 to $500 problem. They've got a problem that, will cost you $2,000 to $3,000 to fix. Oh, I'll get to that in a second, Assist Kings. But Wolves, let me tell you, the major problem with the Porsche 928 is not that the car wasn't built to last. It's that the electrical system, like you said, in that car sucks ass. And even if you do something like you replace the radio or you replace the speakers, any little thing you do with that electrical system is a hassle. And it is a lot of money to do anything with that electrical system. So I'm hoping that when I do try to fix the car up and I do try to get it back on the road, I'm hoping nothing is wrong with the electrical system. But it's probably the coolest thing I ever bought in my life. It was probably the most expensive thing I ever bought in my life. I remember I bought it when I was in my last year of high school. So in my last year of high school as a senior, I was driving a Porsche 928 to high school. I was racing it all around Orlando. I was absolutely in heaven with that car. I thought I was the coolest shit ever with that car. I was the coolest person with that car. I was picking up girls left and right, girls that thought the car was a Ferrari or something. And it was a really fun time with the car. The car was really fun to drive. It's just that I remember one time I had a transmission problem with the car. It cost me $2,000 to fix, and then it broke down again. And then that's when, not that it broke down, but it had another issue. And then that's when I decided to garage the car. And it's been sitting in the garage ever since the pandemic. I haven't been able to get it started. One time I had a mobile mechanic come and take a look at it. He did get the car started up for about 2 minutes, but then it died out again. So I know the car starts, and I know the engine isn't locked up. It's just gonna cost me a lot of money to get that car up and running. I want to say about $2,000. Assist Kings, Indy, how do you feel about the playoffs this year? Let me tell you, Assist Kings, round one, especially as a Laker fan, round one was great. I loved round one as a Laker fan. Watching LeBron dominate those first 3 games, watching LeBron be rejuvenated and look like the old King James, it was great. But it's time to face reality. LeBron was playing a Houston Rockets team that didn't have Kevin Durant. People were injured on that team. They didn't have their main leader in the game, the main scorer, and he was easily able to defeat that team without AR-15 or without needing Luka. But now LeBron is in round 2, against an Oklahoma City team, against the reigning champions. Chet is looking great this year. SGA looks like a young Kobe, and they're just out there cooking the Lakers. They're toying with the Lakers. Last night, SGA was toying with LeBron. He didn't even have that good of a night, and he still had a dominant night. And I don't think the Lakers are going to get past round 2. And I hate to say this, but usually when the Lakers get booted out of the playoffs, early and stuff, that's when I kind of check out and I stop watching the playoff games, and I don't follow them as much as I should be, because the Lakers are my favorite team, and they have been my favorite team since I was a kid, since the Magic and Kareem days. So if the Lakers don't go far in the playoffs, it kills my motivation to continue watching the Lakers and watching NBA playoffs. Oh, I also want to get back to what oh, that's great. What Wolves just said. Yeah, finding parts for the car is really expensive, but not only is finding parts for the car expensive, the car is from 1986. It is a classic vintage car. It is a beauty. I call it my black beauty because it is a black car. It's all in stealth mode. The problem isn't finding the parts. You can find the parts easy nowadays on like eBay or Amazon. The problem with owning a broken down Porsche is finding a mechanic that has the tools to work on it and the know-how, the knowledge. Because most of the people that knew how to work on older cars, on older European cars, like older BMWs or older Porsches or older Mercedes, those people are either gone, like they're dead, or they're retired. And they didn't teach the next generation of mechanics how to fix these older cars. Mechanics nowadays, if they can't take that device and plug it into your car to read what's wrong with your car on their digital machine, on that device, they don't know what the fuck is wrong with your car. Where back in the day, an old school mechanic would get underneath that hood and he would look for the problem, and he would look for the problem until he found it. Where nowadays, getting a car fixed isn't like that. So taking a 1986 Porsche to like some just whatever mechanic is around is pretty much impossible, because they don't have the know-how how to fix it. Sometimes they don't have the tools, and sometimes they can't even tell me what's wrong with the car because the car is so old that it doesn't plug into one of their machines that reads out what's wrong with the vehicle. So that's really the difficult part of me getting that Porsche on the road, is trying to find a mechanic that actually knows how to work on the car, that has the know-how and the knowledge. So that's kind of why the car is still stuck in the garage, because I just in like the last 4 to 5 years, I have not been able to find an honest mechanic that will tell me, like, this is what's wrong with your car and this is what we got to do to fix it, and and this is how much it's gonna cost. They always have an excuse of like why they can't fix it, and that it's gonna cost them extra money to find out what's wrong with the car and how to fix it and the parts and all. So that's why the car's just kind of been sitting in the garage and got stuck there. Or else I would be driving that car around. It used to be my daily driver, the Porsche, until it broke down. Yo, well, good night, Wolves. Take care, man. You have a good night. And hit me up if you ever buy 2K27. I know that the game, you probably got burnt out on it. I have to admit that sometimes I'm feeling kind of burnt out on the game of lately. But it's still a fun game to play here and there. So if you ever get the game, hit me up. We could run Park together or play some Showdown. But I have to admit that the game has gotten rather boring and stale, and just not like the funnest game to look forward to anymore. It's, like I used to look forward to like rushing home from work and getting home from work as early as possible so I can get out there and play some, my team, where now I'm just not really in a rush like that to get home and play the game. You know, there's just nothing that interesting or fun about it anymore. They don't pump out any good content on it anymore. Like, it's a basketball video game and it doesn't even have any playoff content in the game. So shit like that has kind of disappointed me in the game, about the game, and let me down. And that's why most of the time nowadays I'm just not in that rush to get home and play the game. Guys, I gotta go pick up this order. I'll be back in 2 seconds. We're at a Wawa's gas station. Let's see where this order is gonna take us. Later, wolves. Take care, man. Assist Kings. I'll be back pretty soon. I was just about to take off and I just remembered I have to get gas. I already got the order. Let me pump some gas really quick, and I hope this doesn't make me late for this order. But I'm gonna get some gas real quick and then we'll be on our way. I don't know why my girl can't just simply put gas in when she's coming home from work, but she refuses to do me that favor at times. I don't know why shit like this always has to happen to me, but out of all of these fucking like 20 pumps, I managed to land on the one pump that isn't working at the moment. It's fucking crazy work how that always works out for me. Like, nothing in life can just be simple. You can't just pull up to a gas pump and pay and go. And shit like this, delays like this will make you late for an order. I'll be back. I just gotta pump this gas now. All right, I put like $10 of gas in. I'll probably have to put more gas in later on, but as of right now, I don't have the time to just sit here at the gas pump. I got to get to this order, and it's on a little bit of a delay because I had to get gas. So let's make sure we get there on time. This is an order for 12 minutes away again, and again, it's $8 for the order. So if you can make $8 every 12 minutes, that's $16 every 24 minutes that you get to pocket. I think that's really good money, you know, especially since it's nighttime and I'm the only person out here. I'm getting all the orders, and there's also like a surcharge because I'm the only person out here, and it's all about supply and demand. I'm the only person that's supplying the demand. So you end up making great money out here at nighttime, or else I wouldn't be doing it. If it wasn't good money, I wouldn't be out here fucking making myself so damn exhausted and tired every day that sometimes I don't even have the energy to go home and play video games. Oh, is 100 Vince worth it? Mayo, let me be honest with you. None of the 100s are worth it. Do not waste any of your 100s, any of your MT on the 100s. And I'm going to tell you why. The 100s are coming down in price. They are crashing down in price. They are not going to maintain even their current value that they have right now. And right now, 100s are at an all-time low. Going into Season 7, the cards are going to come down for a few reasons. A, the super packs that come out every Tuesday. The Season 6 ending super packs are going to come out. They're going to, the beginning of the new season with the new level 40. That always brings down the tier previously from the older season. And then most likely in Season 7, they're going to drop, just like the way they did last year, they're going to drop some sort of pack where for $50 you get a guaranteed 100. Do not waste any of your MT on a 100 that's currently in the auction house, because when you go to flip that card back, when you go to resell that card because you're done playing with the card, either because you're bored of it or because you recognize that it's losing value, or because you want to upgrade that card to a higher tier, you're not going to get back the MT that you paid for it. You're going to lose a lot of MT on that card. I'll give you a good example. In the beginning of the season, I bought Zion for 1.1 or maybe 1.2 million MT, the 100. He was the cheapest 100 in the market. I thought there was very little risk in buying him because I said, how much can he go down? He's already down to 1.1. So I bought him for 1.1. When I sold him about a week or two ago, I got 800,000 MT for him. So I lost 300,000 MT using that card for, I think I used him for about 4 weeks. He played 75 games for me. He did help me get 75 wins in Showdown. It did help me get into Tier 1, and I accept that. But you got to know that when you buy a card from the auction house, when it's time to resell that card, reflip it, you're not going to get back all the MT you invested into that card. So I don't think it's good. I don't think it's worth it buying any of the 100s that are currently on the market. And then in a week from now, when this season ends, it's definitely time to flip that 100. It's definitely time to move on to the next tier, which is the Invincibles and the GOATs. Oh my God. And let me say, and it's not that, and mozzarella, it's not that I'm saying that the 100s are outdated and they're unusable, because there's still a lot of great 100s that you can use that will compete with the Invincibles and the GOATs. The only thing I'm saying is that when you buy that card right now, I don't think right now is the time to buy. I would wait until a week from now, Season 7, to start buying cards that you really like, cards that the 100s that you really wanted. I want Akeem Olajuwon and I want Michael Jordan really badly. Akeem and Michael are still going for over 1 million MT. I guarantee you come Season 7, those cards are going to be worth less than 800,000 MT. They're going to be worth about 3 to 4, maybe 5 at the tops, at the most. So I don't think right now is the time to buy. Especially that we're in the end of Season 6. You should have everything done by now. You should have your 75 to 200 wins in Showdown. You should have your wins at the park. You should have your wins at completing challenges. So what is that card going to do for you right now? Nothing. So you might as well just wait till the new season starts. Anytime a new season starts, it brings down the price of the cards from the previous season. It brings down the price of the cards that are in the in the older tiers. But that Granger looks nice. And guys, tomorrow's promo does look unbelievable. It's crazy that they're putting GOAT James back into the promo. I've never seen 2K do that, where they like use the player from the week before and put him back into the promo the following week. I've never seen them do that before. But all of the Invincibles coming out tomorrow and all of the 100s are looking really good. I know that they're dropping Invincible Chet. That card is going to be amazing. Expect that card to be at least 4 to 6 million MT. And then Chet is looking amazing. I agree with that, Mozzarella. Who else? Granger is looking really good too. Danny Granger is always really good. I feel like every year they make Danny Granger really good. And Danny Granger is kind of known as like your poor man's PG-13. That's what he is to me. He's like your poor man's Paul George. And he's going to be good, but I don't think he's going to be anything over like 200,000-300,000 MT tops. I'll be surprised if he gets 300,000 MT. I don't think he's going to be over 1 or 2. But they make him a really good player each year, and they make him a really good, accessible, and affordable player to get. Let me see who else is coming out in tomorrow's promo. Oh my God, and the Invincible Luka. That Invincible Luka is also looking really good tomorrow. And the 100 Marc Gasol and the 100 Pau Gasol. I don't know why, but I like those two cards. And maybe it's because they're brothers in real life. But I like not only playing with those cards, I like pairing them up and teaming them up with each other. I think it was 2K24 or 2K25. I had Marc Gasol as my center and I had Pau Gasol as my power forward. And that duo was awesome. So I think those are going to be really, really good cards. The Kawhi is going to be, the Invincible Kawhi is going to be an excellent card. Danny Granger is going to be an excellent card. And then as far as some of the Dark Matters go, they look okay, but Dark Matters now are like the 4th best tiers, the 4th best cards in the game. So I think trying to run a Dark Matter in Season 7 is going to be really difficult, and I don't think it's going to be worth anyone investing their MT into a Dark Matter and like acquiring that card and badging it out. Come Season 7, the lowest card you should be running on your team is a 100. And even then, some of those 100s, like a 100 Zion or 100 Chris Webber or a 100 Derrick Rose, those type of cards are gonna be dated in Season 7. You're not gonna be really able to run those type of cards in Season 7 and do good or have much success with them. Me myself, I gotta accept going into Season 7, I'm gonna have to replace D-Wade, as much as I love that card and the fact that it was a free card that I didn't have to spend MT on. I'm gonna have to replace D-Wade. I'm gonna have to replace Draymond. Cards like that. I'm gonna have to replace Derrick Rose and Donovan Mitchell and Joe Kim Noah. There's just cards that come Season 7, you're not gonna be able to run them. You're gonna have to get, if you want to keep up with the people in Showdown and King of the Court, you're gonna have to get some Invincibles. You're gonna have to get the really elite 100s. You're gonna have to get a GOAT card. Oh, you're right about that, Blue Blood. 2K and Ronnie 2K don't deserve a dime, of our money. If I start talking about how upset I am about the game and how much the game is costing this year, just to play the fucking game, just to be a part of it, just to interact with the game, and you could spend $100 on the game each weekend and interact with the content that they drop every Tuesday and Friday. It doesn't mean you get shit for that $100. It doesn't mean you get anything if you rip $100 worth of packs or boxes come Tuesday and Friday. It just means you interacted with the game. But if you're gonna drop $30 on the game, $50 on the game, or $100 on the game, I feel like 2K, if they want to move forward with with their fan base, with their consumers, with their customers, they need to start dropping more guaranteed stuff like option packs, where the customer, the consumer that gave you guys $100 could actually get what they want to purchase. They can get what they actually want, not whatever you just want to fucking give us after we gave you $100. We give you $100, we give you what you guys want. We should be able to purchase and get what we want in return for that purchase. That's the way it works anywhere else. You go to any other store and you give them money, you pay and you get for exactly what you want. The store doesn't give you a chance at a hope at getting something that you want, or the store doesn't dictate what you get and they just give you whatever they want to give you. You get exactly what you pay for. And it's not like that with 2K. You give them your money and you're just literally really burning it away and just gambling and hoping that you get what you want. Oh, for sure, Assist Kings. You know, I get home really late. Like usually I get home like around 2:30 in the morning, and then I still have to eat like a late night dinner, and then like I try to like twist up a joint. But this weekend guys, I have the whole house to myself. My girl is going to her mother's house. My son is gonna go with her to, you know, spend Mother's Day with his mother and his grandmother together. And I am gonna stay behind. I'm gonna stay home and I'm gonna have the whole house to myself. And believe me when I say I'm gonna be playing 2K My Team the whole weekend. I might even do a 24-hour stream where all I do is just play that game the whole day. I'm gonna go to sleep when I want. I'm gonna wake up when I want. I'm gonna drink as much as I want that weekend. I'm gonna smoke as many fucking blunts and joints as I want. But I am gonna be enjoying myself. I'm gonna have the house to myself, and I'm gonna be on that damn game the whole fucking weekend. So this weekend, look me up. I'm Indie2K _ on PlayStation Network. It's the same name. You could find me. I'll add you as a friend, and we could definitely run some games together. Cause I need somebody to carry me to some park wins. I suck at the park. Oh my God, Tyson Chandler. I forgot that they dropped Tyson Chandler. You know, every single year whenever they drop Tyson Chandler, he is always a budget beast. He's always a really good card. It doesn't matter if he's a Dark Matter or 100. It doesn't matter if he's behind all the other cards. His size, his body build just allows him to defend cards that are even in a higher tier. So you could take a Dark Matter Tyson Chandler and easily run him against a 100, easily run him against an Invincible and still give those card problems because his height, his size is so dominating. And this year, people say that height doesn't matter in the game this year. No, that's wrong. Height still dominates the game this year. It's just that it's really difficult to get those players with the dominating height at their position. It's really hard to get Ben Simmons this year. It's really hard to get Magic Johnson this year at your point. You know, it's really hard to get Yao Ming or a Zach Edey or, you know, cards like that. So height still dominates the game. It's just that, you know, it's really hard to get those cards, and that's why everybody is still running small lineups in Season 7. At this stage of the game, nobody should be running small lineups, but it's so hard to get the cards with height on them that everyone is still running small lineups. Okay, guys, it says that we're 1 minute away from this destination. It didn't feel like a 12-minute trip to me, but it says it was a 12-minute trip. And in those 12 minutes, I made $8. And the last trip was also 12 minutes, and I made $8. So in the last 24 minutes, we have made $16, and not even a half hour has gone by of picking up orders and dropping them off. So I want to say that's a W. We are pulling up to a hotel. It's not a hotel, actually. It's a motel. And it's not the worst looking hotel or motel I've ever seen, but... And I'm not saying it's in a bad area. It's in a pretty good area. But still. And I also hate leaving the car behind unattained while I go drop off the orders. And this order is going to take a little bit to drop off. A little bit of time. So I'm going to leave you guys here in the car while I drop this order off. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Guys, please make sure that you guard the car and watch out for the car. If anyone in the car besides me gets into this car, you let them know in the chat. Get the fuck out. We're watching your ass. But I'm gonna go drop this off real quick, and I'll be back. It's at this hotel. I'll see you guys in about 5 minutes. I'll be back. Protect the car, guys. Hey guys, I'm back. This hotel looked kind of sketchy, so I was like, I don't want to leave my car my phone in the car, and then when I get back, someone jacks my phone and the phone is missing, and it's my girl's cell phone. She would be absolutely mad. So you guys are gonna come with me on this delivery while I drop this off at this hotel. Well, it's more of a motel. Where the fuck is the elevators at? And that's crazy. There's like absolutely no one in this hotel to greet you, like no kind of front desk customer service. Oh, there's the elevator. This elevator looks pretty sketchy. Not gonna lie, it's kind of scary. So I'm just gonna drop off this order real quick, and then we'll be on our way to the next one. But this is what it's like to do DoorDash at night. You know, everywhere you go is pretty empty and, you know, no one around. It looks like a ghost town and shit. And usually you're pretty much the only person wandering around. Usually at this time of the night, I'm the only person wandering around Orlando dropping off food. So it always looks like a ghost town wherever I go. Like, look. Looks like I'm in the damn back rooms over here. Okay, we gotta find apartment 330. And then we're off to the next one. Here's apartment 330. I can't believe people will order like such small orders from DoorDash and Uber Eats, because it costs a lot of money just to deliver, you know, some like drinks and potato chips and stuff like that. That's all that order was like drinks, potato chips, and candy. And it must have costed them a pretty penny just to order that shit at this time of the night. But yeah, this hotel gives me those back rooms type of creepy, eerie feelings. And it's on to the next one. Hopefully we get an order pretty quick. So far I've made $25 in an hour and 30 minutes. And I want to say out of that hour and 30 minutes, I've only done 30 minutes of work at the most. But yeah, this place is completely empty. Like it's been abandoned or something. It looks like the damn back rooms. And it gets kind of creepy sometimes, you know, going to all of these places and going inside of all of these apartment complexes or subdivisions or hotels, and you're the only person out there. It does get kind of creepy. Okay, we went out the wrong entrance. I was like, where's my car? It's missing. That's the only downside of this job is, you know, constantly being like alone and by yourself. And that's why I started streaming it. And that's why I'm really glad and appreciative that I have you guys from the chat to hang out with. But this is late night Orlando. I'm sure downtown Orlando is really busy right now because it looks like a lot of people are out. And in this city of Orlando, everyone likes to start partying on Thursday night. So, but there's still a good amount of people out here, even though it's like almost 2 in the morning. There's still people just roaming the area like a bunch of zombies. So, let me put the phone back and we are on to the next delivery. Hopefully we get one really, really soon. Oh, we did. Oh my gosh, I missed it. That fucking blows. Damn it. Now I gotta wait. But the good thing about this area is that we're in the UCF. We're in East Orlando, Orange County. And we are by the UCF college. And there is 95,000 students on campus. And these motherfuckers will be ordering food until like 3, 4 in the morning. And so it always stays busy out here. That's the one good thing about this area, is that it always stays extremely busy. All right, got the camera back on. And let me see if we can get a next order. Until then, I'm gonna participate in a little marijuana and smoke some of this joint, and we'll be on our way. I got gas and everything, so I'm good to go. Like I said, I've already made about $25 in the hour and a half that we've been out here, and my goal for the night is to hit anywhere between like 30 to 60. Last night I made 60 in 2 hours. Today I'm hoping I make at least 40 to 60. And says we've been out here for an hour and a half, but out of this hour and a half, I've only done 30 minutes of work. So pretty much in that 30 minutes, I made $25. But look how many people are just out here chilling at this time. Like, what are they all doing out here? Not this many people could possibly be getting off of work at this time of the night. It's crazy. It's like, when do people sleep and shit? You know, look, here's another zombie just walking around. So I want to say, like, nowadays, I feel like there's a lot of late night owls like myself. Some dude in a car was just trying to wave me down to stop. I was like, nope, I'm going to keep on going. Who knows what the fuck he wanted. But this is a pretty sketchy, I want to say, motel. And the surprising part is in a decent neighborhood, a decent area, but it's like hidden in the back where no one can see this hotel. So it's not that much of an eyesore, but really it shouldn't be in this good neighborhood. It's pretty crappy. Pretty scary too. But and we got ourselves another order. It is 1 minute away, the order for pickup, and then we just got to drop it off. And there goes another $11 in my pockets. So this is turning out to be a pretty decent night again, money-wise. As far as the rest of my day goes, I had a pretty shitty day. Just arguing with my girl and trying to explain to her how I don't want us arguing in front of our son. Din, I appreciate that, and my seatbelt is on. Oh, let me see what Assist King is saying. Assist Kings, I would love it if Wemby won the championship. Like, oh my God. First of all, let me tell you, that would be a great way to start his career if he won a championship in his second or third year while playing. Second of all, it would be a great start to his legacy. A legacy that I feel like is going to surpass LeBron James. And I want his legacy to surpass LeBron James, just the way I wanted Steph Curry to either tie or surpass LeBron James. And I think if Wemby is able to get 5 rings, even once he gets to like 3 to 4 rings, you're going to see so many people. The second he wins a ring, you're going to see so many people referring to Wemby as the GOAT or the next GOAT or the GOAT of this generation, of this era. But to me, skill-wise, you know, just from the eye test, comparing a young LeBron to a young Wemby, I would take Victor Wembanyama over a LeBron James any time of the day, just because of his height, the way he moves with the ball, the way he can dribble, the way he could shoot. We have never seen anything like a Victor Wembanyama. We've never seen anybody at his height do the things he can do: dribble, break ankles, shoot threes, do a step back, do a fadeaway. He's just got every move in the book, and he executes every move in the book excellently. And I think if you give Victor Wembanyama 2 or 3 years with this team that he's on with Stephon Castle, I think he's gonna have a championship within maybe even this year, if not in the next 2 to 3 years. And the second Wemby gets one championship, we are on the road. We are on the path of him building a legacy that's going to not only surpass LeBron James, it's going to make you completely forget that you ever mentioned him as a GOAT. And it's not that I hate LeBron. I just hate how egotistical LeBron James is, how he came into the league calling himself the chosen one, how he came into the league calling himself a GOAT, how he tries to convince people that he surpassed Michael and Kobe. Well, guess what? There is somebody that is about to surpass you, LeBron James, and that's Victor Wembanyama. So I can't wait to see Wemby win a championship. I already like Wemby more than I like LeBron. He's already a much more humble player that's more skilled. So I can't wait to see a Victor Wembanyama win a championship. Can Wemby win the championship this year? I still want to say that's a possibility. I still think he's got a good chance, a very good chance. Hey, Joe, I'll answer that question as soon as I come back. I just got to go pick up this order. I'll be back in 2 seconds. It's right here at the gas station. I think it's a Speedway. I'll be back. Hey guys, I am back. I'm sorry about that. I had to pick up that order from Wawa's and then the phone went dead. And okay guys. Everything at all the time. We had some major technical difficulties. Damn it, man. This fucking... Sometimes life will throw you every difficult thing your way at the same fucking time. It's like, God, give me a break. You know what I mean? So, I dropped off... I went to go pick up that order from Wawa's. And when I got in the car, I realized that the stream... You know, the phone went dead and the stream was gone. I had to charge that phone. And 20 seconds later, as I was heading to the next delivery, that phone, the second phone died. So now I have 2 dead phones and 2 shitty chargers in the car that charge slowly. I can tell my girl until I'm blue in the face, hey, you're always on the phone on Amazon. You're always out the store. You think you could pick up a car charger? her answer will be, why don't you pick up the car charger? Then I feel like, well, why the fuck do I gotta do every damn thing? Why can't you just, you're on the phone every fucking day, the whole night on TikTok and shit. You can't take a break from fucking TikTok and go order some chargers for the phone or the car or the house? It's like, god damn, what the fuck are women good for then nowadays? What are they good for anymore? To just hear them nag, complain, and bitch? You know, fuck. I can't think of anything that a woman does better than a guy. What the pretty much they're just a really good fuckhole. That's all they fucking have become, because they're dumb, stupid, and useless. And all they want to do nowadays is fucking not fucking take care of families like they used to be, or what natural instinct tells them. All they want to do nowadays is just sit on TikTok. TikTok their lives away. TikTok, TikTok, TikTok. It's really annoying, because it makes me feel like, well, what the fuck do I have a wife for? What the fuck is the purpose of having a girl if she ain't, you know, cooking and cleaning or fucking helping out in some capacity throughout the household? If she's just making life more difficult for your ass, what's the purpose? What's the purpose of keeping a steady girl around? I mean, if I wanted to like just go get laid, I could easily go to a bar or club, get hooked and hook up each week. But when you settle down with a girl, you know, a wife or whatever you want to call her, it's supposed to be because, you know, it's a mutual partnership. You're going to help make each other's life easier. You're going to be considerate of each other. And you're going to, you know, like, hey, listen to your significant other when they tell you to do something. I can't get this girl to fucking even buy a new charger for the fucking car. She'll act like it's breaking the goddamn bank. It's fucking ridiculous. So what happened? The stream went dead. My phone went dead for that I use for work. I have 2 dead phones. I have 2 chargers that charge in slow motion. It's crazy. It makes no fucking sense the way the world is going, the direction the world is going in. There used to just be a time where the girl, the woman, whatever you want to call her, the wife, just listened and just took some orders and just did, you know, like, as you requested. Hey, have some dinner cooked by the time I get home from work. Have the house cleaned up. Nowadays, asking a woman, asking your wife to do that is like asking too much. Or it's like you're asking them to do something that's beneath them, or like downgrading them or some shit. Damn, I'm just asking you to cook a dinner and clean it so I can have something to eat when I get home from work. Heck, if I ask you to get a charger for the car, you know, and you're on the computer all day, maybe stop off at Amazon and buy the charger and shit. But instead, all these women are good for nowadays is just complaining and bitching. It's fucking annoying. Between work and that, like, who the fuck can handle the hassle of going home to a wife afterwards? But when a man gets done with work, they want to go home to peace and quiet. A home-cooked meal, and then that's it. Instead, in 2026, you got to go home to a fucking wife that's just constantly complaining and bitching about shit. It's fucking annoying. It's a lot to deal with. It's a lot to deal with on top of work and having a kid. And, you know, nowadays my main priority is not my wife. It's not. It's my kid. It's my son. That's my number one major priority in life. And you would think having a significant other, a wife, a mom, you think it would make it easier. No, it makes it more fucking difficult, having to deal with them and put up with their fucking complaining. But all I ask of her is, hey, put gas in the car so when I use it for work, there's gas, and make sure the phone is charged up. She gives me no gas and a dead phone. That's a great combination for a person that depends on gas for their job and depends on the phone for their job. Great fucking good job there. So it's just a lot to deal with, and I don't want to seem like I'm bitching and complaining on stream. It's just a lot to deal with. It's almost too much for a guy to deal with at times. Okay, I'm supposed to be looking for a restaurant right now. I don't know where the fuck this place is, but I feel like it's maybe a food truck or something, because nothing here is open. So let me see what's going on and where this place is. Okay, it says it's in the other side of the plaza now. I am so ready to call this a night because it did not go as planned, and it started with my wife just making it difficult. It just did it. I don't know what the fuck else who else I can blame it on, but I certainly didn't wake up and start arguing with my fucking self. That's for sure. But where is this place? White building on corner of Colonial? Like, what kind of directions is this? Like, well, guys, hopefully we find this order. If not, I might just cancel this one. I think I'm gonna cancel it because it's kind of difficult to find. You know, guys, when people say it's the little things in life that count, it is the little things in life that count. And when the little things in life go according to plan and go the way you planned it or intended it, that everything seems so much easier in life. But when things, especially the little things in life, don't go the right way, it just throws off the bigger picture. And my girl like started an argument with me as soon as I wake up today, and just like ruining my fucking day, just like ruined everything else. And just a little bit of negativity in the start of your day could ruin a whole day. It's crazy work. And that's why I always tell people, stay away from negativity. Always try to be positive. Always try to think positive. Always try to act and feel positive, and positive things will happen. But it's so hard to surround yourself by positive people all the time. It's just so much bitching, complaining, and negativity out in the world, and just people lacking common sense to do anything the correct way. It's beyond fucking stupid. Sometimes I've like just had enough of the way things are in this world. Like, I came out after dropping off my last order. Phone number 1 goes dead. Phone that's doing the stream. I'm like, okay, I just gotta plug the phone in. I plug the phone in. It's plugged in for like 7 minutes straight. It's not even on 1% yet. I'm like, what's going on with the phone? How come it's not charging? Then phone number 2 goes dead. The phone that I use for work to do DoorDash and Lyft. So now I've got 2 dead phones, but I'm like, hey, I've got 2 chargers in the phone. I should be able to charge up both phones. But that wasn't the case. Instead, I told my girl, hey, why don't you go get 2 good chargers for the phone, or, you know, for the car. And instead, she gets the most cheapest chargers that money can buy. As if she's not making $70,000 a year. But if I ask her as a guy, as a man, and say, hey, do this like I say, and buy a charger, some chargers for the house and for the car. She'll go out there and she'll buy the cheapest chargers that will break down in another week. And in another week, we're over there having the same fucking argument of why there isn't a damn charger in the fucking car or in the house that fucking works to charge up the phones. And then if I argue with her in another 2 weeks that, hey, the chargers are broken again, her answer is going to be, why don't you go to the store and buy it? But you're at the store every day food shopping. You can't buy some damn chargers? You're on TikTok every day on your phone the whole fucking goddamn day. You can't take time off of TikTok and order some chargers off of Amazon? So, like, it really fucking baffles me nowadays, the importance of women being around. And I think that's why fucking more than 50% of marriages end up in divorce, because what the fuck is the point of having a woman? What are they good for? What are they doing? What the fuck are they doing nowadays? You know, like, I don't need my girl to raise my kid. I know how to probably even raise him better than her. She's busy at work all the time, and when she comes home from work, she's in a bad mood, and all she wants to do is rest and relax and watch TikTok. So what the fuck, you need a woman for nowadays? You probably be better off just doing shit on your own as a man. So that's how I feel today. I told her, hey, load up on gas. She gave me an empty tank. Hey, get some chargers for the phone. Here's two dead phones and 2 slow chargers. Wow, that's real helpful of you. But if she tells me to do something, hey, go take out this trash, go get this done at the house, fix this, as a man, you gotta do it. But as a woman, women don't have to do shit nowadays. If you tell them to do something, They act like you're bossing them around, that it's rude and disrespectful to tell you to do something. Hey, have dinner cooked for me when I get home. Clean up the house. But they gotta sit there and watch TikTok nowadays. I swear TikTok has ruined the American woman. It's turned them into a bunch of lazy women. All they do now is watch TikTok the whole fucking day. That's all a woman is good for nowadays, is watching TikTok. And then when they see you're happy, God forbid they see you're happy and enjoying your time, what they've learned from TikTok is that they gotta fucking make sure that their men is not happy in life, and it's time for them to ruin your happiness. That's what the fuck a woman is for nowadays, is to make sure that you're never happy in life. Good Lord. But now I got 2 dead phones. That's great. That's what I've got. So can I continue working? Probably not. Probably I'm gonna have to call it a night early, because my phone, my job depends on a fully functioning, charged phone. Can I stream? No, because the stream depends on a charged phone. Can I get her to buy 2 fucking chargers? Fuck no. You tell that woman to buy anything, she's gonna look at me like I'm crazy. Why don't you go and buy it? But what can I say? What can I do? Oh, Assist Kings, I'm so glad you agree with me, my dude, because as a man, I sit there and I realize that shit like TikTok and shit like garbage ass TV shows like fucking garbage ass TV shows like fucking Housewives and shit like that. Those shows are fucking rotting American women's brains. It's just absolutely rotting their fucking brains away. And they don't know how to think for themselves, and they don't know how to think, period. Because those shows have programmed, those programs have programmed women on how to act nowadays, how to treat a husband, how to treat a man, how to fucking, how they should be thinking or acting, or all sorts of shit. It's just pure garbage. The shit and the nonsense they put into these women's heads with shit like garbage ass TikTok and fucking Housewives and shit like that. Reality TV and shit like TikTok has ruined like women's brains. Like, that's how I feel, and that's how I look at it. It's just completely like dumbed them the fuck down. Like, and sometimes I hate it when my wife is watching that shit, or so or so hooked on it, that I'm like, hey, I gotta get to work. It's your turn to be with the baby. Now it's your turn to do homework with them and give them a bath. I get them to school in the morning. It's your turn now. But fuck, man, like, it's like pulling fucking teeth. Now women, all they want to do is whatever the fuck they want to do when the fuck they want to do it, because they think they're the fucking damn bosses. I have the dick and balls, you have the vagina. I don't remember it saying, to follow the woman's lead. It follows the man's lead. It's the man is the man of the house, in charge of the household. You follow his lead. The man protects and provides. Nowadays, some women make a little bit of money and got some money in their pockets, and they think just because they got money in their pockets, they're the person that's supposed to be in charge of the household. For what? Can you take out the heavy trash can? Can you fucking paint the house? Shit. I don't know what the fuck these women are good for nowadays. Just for bitching and complaining. But all of that shit like TikTok and Housewives and all of these other stupid shows, all of these other programs, they just did a program the women and make them fucking stupid as fuck. There used to be a time where women just cared about keeping the household together, providing a home-cooked meal for the family, cleaning up the house, taking care of the kids. What the fuck do they want to do nowadays? Hello? Hello? And you go to a drive-thru, motherfuckers don't even answer this shit. 2 minutes later, they answer. And that's what I mean by, like, sometimes it's the little things in life that count, because I swear, man, If just the little things in life go good and the little things in life come together, the whole bigger picture is just so much easier to deal with. Agreed. And if you yell or raise your voice a little bit, they think you're just getting upset for being rude when you're just trying to explain your side. Exactly. If you fucking yell or you raise your voice. Hi, I got an order here for DoorDash.
Oh, you can put the second one down.
Thanks. You're now the bad guy because you raised your voice, you yelled, you cussed, and now you're the bad guy not only to your to your girl, but your kid is looking at you like, oh dad, you're yelling at moms, and it turns you out, it makes you into the bad guy, when really you're just trying to explain to your side, and get these damn women to listen nowadays, instead of just doing whatever the fuck they want to do, which is run wild, like it's crazy. It's crazy. I don't fucking see the purpose anymore. Like, in what the fuck are women doing? Like I sometimes I wish I can go back in time and live in a simpler time where a woman just wanted to give you a home cooked meal. So when you got home from work, there was a dinner ready and the house cleaned up, and then they're ready to be a freak in the bed. Now woman just wants to bitch and complain and do nothing, and have a man absolutely pay for every single thing. Now, if a man wants a home-cooked meal when he gets home, he has to pay for it and get it DoorDashed before he gets home and shit. That's how he gets a home-cooked meal in 2026. Sure ain't like the way it used to be when my dad was, married and growing up in the 80s and shit like that. It's just women doing whatever the fuck they want to do, driving men crazy and shit. Then they wonder why there's never been a female president. Psh, keep wondering. Shit. But it shouldn't be like that. It should just be like the way it says it's supposed to be in the Bible. The man provides, the man protects, the woman listens and follows the man's lead. But it ain't nothing like that anymore. It's just a bunch of crazy ass women fucking doing whatever they want, watching TikTok all day and getting brainwashed by shows like fucking Housewives and shit. If I have to see one more show like that, I might just throw the fucking TV out of the house. Just because I don't even want to see that shit on the screen anymore. But it is what it is. Sometimes I think those are the fucking, I guess, just trials and tribulations that you got to deal with, being in a relationship. It certainly doesn't make dealing with them easy, that's for sure. But I think I'm going to pick up these last two orders, and between the car not having any gas when I got in it and 2 dead cell phones, I think I'm just ready to call it a night. And just go home and then women wonder, why do men love video games so much? Let me tell you why men love video games so damn much. It's because video games are an escape of reality. And you don't have to deal with what's really going on. Deal with your girl in the background bitching and complaining up a storm over stupid minute things. That's why guys love video games so much. It's an escape away from you guys. Not from the world, not from their kids, but from women. And sometimes I don't know how people make it, like married their whole lives and shit. It's gotta be a lot of work, a lot of effort. Because I've been with my girl for like going on 19 years, and sometimes I tell you I want to fake my own death and just disappear. Exactly, Assist Kings. And I'm always telling my girl that, I'm like, I got an order for John D and John S. I'm always telling my girl that, like, hey, we can argue in private.
You said John S?
Yeah, and John D. This, oh my God, man. I just can't stand how women don't know how to do anything. They look so confused at the smallest things.
Okay, John D is ready. For John S, wait for me at the 3rd window, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
And I always tell my girl, like, hey, it's okay if we argue behind closed doors and stuff, but I don't ever want to argue in front of the, I still call him a baby, but he's 8. But I always tell her, hey, I don't want to be arguing in front of our son, like, and if you got some, like, frustrations you got to get off your chest because you've had a long day at work. That's fine too, but behind closed doors, let's not argue in front of our kid and our son. I don't want him to see that side of us. So if you got something to say, wait until like he's asleep, or wait until he's not around to bitch and complain about it. But you think she gives a fuck? No, it's just arguing and complaining right in front of your kid. And that's the problem with women. All they think about is their damn selves or their fucking vaginas. They have no consideration. Most definitely, they don't have no consideration for their husbands or their men, because they're doing whatever the fuck they want when they want to do it, because they ain't listening to guys anymore. And if you had consideration for your kid, you wouldn't be arguing or disobeying your husband in front of your kid. But like I said, nowadays a woman just does whatever the fuck they want to do. So it always turns into an argument because she's there trying to get her way, and I'm there trying to just get her to listen. And she tells me her answer is, if I'm always listening to you, that's you always getting your way and it always being done your way. So what that means is she always wants it done her way, and that's not the way it is. I don't give a fuck if I sound old-fashioned or not. The men have dick and balls. You guys have the vaginas. We're the providers and the protectors. You guys are the listeners. That's the way it is. I don't see why. How did we go away from those traditional like morals and values? How did America move away from that kind of stuff? How did we go from a man provides and protects the household, and then the women provides, a home-cooked meal, a clean house, kids that are taken care of? It said now we're in 2026, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on in this world? Like, it's like, damn it, man. It's like, it's just completely like, just I think bad and frustrating, and it's not a good direction that America has gone in. In the 40s and 50s and 60s and 70s, women had pride in taking care of a household. Nowadays, all a woman wants to do is go to work and say, hey, I make the money now. Now I don't have to be the take care of the household. It's fucking crazy. But all I was asking of her was, hey, can you please give me a cell phone? Can you please order 2 chargers, a charger for the car, and make sure there's gas in the car. Instead, I get an empty gas tank and 2 dead phones, and no chargers or charge them. But that's the last I'm gonna say of that, because I'm gonna sound like I'm complaining. Okay. John D. I just gotta verify these orders, guys. But they're like, when you start your day off so negative and in such a bad way, it just leads into you having a bad day and you being in a bad mood the whole fucking day.
Here you go.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be that the person that you're raising a kid with, a person that you say you're going to be committed to for life, your partner, whatever you want to call them, husband, wife, it shouldn't be that, that person, just because they don't get their way is, going to fucking now put you in a bad mood and ruin your fucking day or your life. It's fucking terrible, man. And I'm pretty sure because of that, my stream now is in some shitty algorithms, and I'm gonna have a few late deliveries because 2 phones went dead on me and I couldn't fucking see where I was going, and I couldn't do anything with the stream, and like it just completely ruined my day. It like made it like, hey, what the fuck was the point of me planning my day if just a woman could just come and ruin it with her bitching and complaining? How the fuck can you plan any sort of a good positive day with that kind of fucking constant attitude and nagging? It's just, I don't think women should make men's life so miserable that they just bitch, complain, annoy you and nag you until they get their way. It shouldn't be that way. It should be like, hey, there should be like some sort of 50-50, some sort of compromise, some sort of agreements. Not fucking, hey, I'm just gonna complain until I get my way. It is true. Everyone has to play their part, Assist Kings. Everyone has to play their part. If you don't play your part as a woman, as a wife, then who the fuck is supposed to play that part? The man that's got the dick and balls? That's why everything is so ass backwards in today's society, in today's world. That's why you got fucking women that are acting and thinking they're men and acting and being a bunch of dykes. And that's why you got men out there thinking, being a bunch of trans and thinking they're women. Because the roles are so fucking ass backwards and reversed nowadays. Because of because of women not listening to one simple rule. Which is, hey, you're supposed to listen to the man of the house. The man that you chose to marry, the man that you chose to be committed to, is the man that you're choosing to follow for life. And now if you don't, you can get a divorce and you can go your own separate ways. But as long as you're with that man, you're supposed to follow his lead. But nowadays, it's just not like that anymore. A woman can give less about following orders. You know, it's like my boy says, you know, a woman doesn't have problem, you know, taking orders at work when they have a boss that's getting paid. A woman will listen to their boss better and more than they listen to their own husbands. Why? Because that guy is putting money in their pockets, something that they want and need that they can't have without that guy. So they don't have no other choice but to listen to their bosses. But when they get home, they're like, oh, I've been listening to my boss all day. I don't want to listen to my husband now either also. So nowadays, they just don't listen. You know, and just because they put a little bit of money in their pockets, they think they're the bosses. It's fucking crazy. But I tell you this much, I'm not going to have some fucking woman yelling and acting crazy in front of my son, fucking teaching him that that's okay. You know, and that's how we get these fucking shitty fucking... That's how come the pattern is never broken from family to family. You know, that's why nowadays families are just so ass backwards, because no one could break the cycle of bad parenting nowadays, or bad marriages, because women just don't want to listen. And that's the truth. I guarantee if you can get a woman to listen, half the problems in this United States of America would be gone. You know, maybe then a guy can concentrate on some of the bigger pictures. But if the little picture don't go right, if the things of the small things in life aren't going right, trust me, the bigger picture ain't ever gonna look good. And that's what I always tell my girl. If you want to sit here and argue and rebuttal and go against everything I say and tell you each and every single time, if everything has got to be a struggle and an argument and a fight, shit ain't ever gonna be good. You know, and that's not the household I want to raise my son in. But trying to get a woman nowadays to listen and see that, they won't fucking listen to you unless a fucking TV show told them that. Unless it was on TikTok, or some woman made a TikTok video about it, or fucking some show like Housewives, you know, said it out. Until then, they're just gonna fucking act crazy and do whatever the fuck they want. Alright guys, I gotta find this order because this building is crazy and there's no parking anywhere for some reason. It's just like this night is just it's just not a good night. And I can't wait to go home and just play some video games and forget about it. Okay, this guy is trying to leave me some directions on how to get to him. Sometimes these people, like if you see the DoorDasher is having problems finding you, you should probably meet them outside and meet them halfway. But just nowadays, like I said, no one in life is trying to make the little things in life easy. Everyone in life is just thinking about themselves and just worried about making themselves happy and not helping out the next man up, or the next person. Alright guys, I don't mean to bitch and complain. I'm gonna fucking drop off this order, then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna smoke the rest of this joint, and I'm gonna get myself back in a decent mood at least. I just gotta drop this off. I'll be back in 2 minutes. I would take the phone with me, but I'll probably die if I take it with me. I'll be back in a sec. Hey guys, I'm back. Sorry that took so long. It was an apartment, and I had to go all the way up to the 4th floor, and the apartment had a gate that just to get into the stairwell, you needed a gate. You needed to open up a gate or need a gate code or the person to ring you in to just be able to go up the stairs. It was crazy. And I got another delivery. It's the second part to this delivery. It was 2 orders from McDonald's. I want to say that between not having gas ready in the car today, not having some charged up cell phones, this day has just been this night has been ruined and a huge bust. I think I've made $40 so far, where last night I made $60 in 2 hours. Today I've been out here for 2 hours and I made $40, which isn't bad. But if I didn't have to run into so many little problems to overcome, like no gas in the car and then the phone's going dead on me, you know, I wouldn't have to waste time on shit like that. But today I'll ask, in the morning time when I see my wife again, I'll ask her kindly, hey, please have gas in the car when you come in, when you're coming on your way home. Put gas in the car, so this way when I go into work, there's gas for me to go to work with, and I don't have to get gas before I've even started making money for the day, you know. And maybe buy a working charger for the car, so this way we're not, you know, always arguing and fighting about the chargers and stuff. And don't buy the cheap charger that costs us $4 that's gonna break down in 2 weeks again, and in 2 weeks we're back to square one arguing about where the fuck are the chargers at and why don't any of them work. Just buy the good ones. Who gives a fuck if it's $19 or $20? Just buy the good one, so this way we're not replacing the cheap crappy ones every 2 weeks. And sometimes I just feel like women do shit that doesn't make any damn sense at all to men. It doesn't make any fucking sense, some of the shit women are saying and doing nowadays. And like, I wish we could just go back to the way it was like when I was growing up. If my dad told my mom to do something, he didn't have to crack a whip to do it. She just did it. She just was like, hey, my husband, you know, was asking if I could do something. He just did it. You could learn a lot from the women from the past, but the women of today are like, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. But it's pretty annoying, and it's pretty aggravating that they just can't take and follow simple orders. Like, it's too difficult for them, or like they don't want to be bossed around and told what to do. It's got to be their way or the highway when they want it, you know. And it's just like, I'm not trying to raise my son in a world where, like, you know, where he thinks he has to fucking bow down to some woman and listen to a woman and shit. Like, this is a man's world, and there's a reason for it. So you know, I'll just ask her today, hey, you know, just the way I give you I leave you with gas in the morning time so you can go to work worry free, not having to worry about gas, is the same way I want gas in the gas tank, so I don't have to worry about it as soon as I get to work. You know, is it difficult to get a charger and charge up the phones? You know, if you have the phone with you, you know, charge them up. But I feel like nowadays you could tell a woman something, it goes in one ear and out the other. Like, and there's nothing in between to stop it. Yeah, I'm trying to, Corey. But today my wife, like, I just, you know, I try to tell people, like, you know, life is about the small things, you know, and when all the small things come together, it's what makes life easier, and it's what makes life enjoyable. But when the small things don't come together, you can't get the bigger picture to come together. And it's like, damn, if one thing goes wrong in the household, then everything falls and breaks apart. And if you can't just give your wife a simple order like, hey, I want there to be a hot plate of food when I come home from work. I want there to be dinner ready. I want the house to be cleaned up, and I want the kid to be taken care of. That's not asking for much, because traditionally, throughout the ages, since the caveman day, that's the role of the woman. And if the woman doesn't play her part and doesn't play her role, then who the fuck is? Is it then up to the man to play the woman's role? Like, get the fuck out of here. I'm not asking for brain surgery over here. I'm asking you to do simple things. Keep gas in the gas tank. Clean up the house. Have dinner ready for me when I come home. And if the answer is, why don't you do that yourself, then what the fuck is the purpose? what is, having a wife, what good is she then? And if someone's telling me like it's to get consistent ass and pussy, I can get consistent ass and pussy even if I wasn't married. But like, damn, like, you would think as a man, you get married, you have like a partnership, someone to help you out, someone to make the day easier and less stressful. But instead, a woman nowadays thinks, hey, my job is to annoy, bitch, and complain. I call it the ABCs. They annoy, bitch, and complain until they just get their way, until you can't take it no more, and you're ripping the fucking hair out of your skull. They don't give a fuck you're going crazy. They're just like, hey, I'm trying to get my way. If I got to keep pushing his buttons to get my way, they're going to keep pushing them. And today I had a terrible day. Why? I ran out of gas. I'm over here doing Uber and picking people up, trying to make $200 a day. Here I am, no gas to start off the day. I put gas twice already in the fucking car. My job depends on, the phones being charged up. If I want one for directions and the other one to stream. 2 dead phones and 2 slow chargers in the car. It took 10 minutes to get the phone to 1%. Like, come on, like that's just not right. Just follow some basic, simple orders, and if the smaller things come into place in life, then the bigger picture is gonna look better. But if you can't even get the small things done correctly, the bigger picture ain't ever gonna look good. And I'm tired of having to tell, like, I got my girl, 2 fucking sisters, and my mom's, and not one of these fucking women listen to a damn fucking word. These women nowadays, they think just because they put a little bit of money in their pockets, they're the bosses. Fuck out of here. Guys, I gotta drop off this order. I'll be back in like 2 minutes. But the sad part is I'm not even joking. I really wish, things could go back to a simpler time, like back in the 40s and 50s and 60s, when a woman just fucking listened, and that was it. All right, I'll be back, guys. Alright guys, I am back. I just got another ping. It is an $11 order. It's 7 minutes away. It's at McDonald's again. At this time of the night, mostly people are just ordering like Mickey D's and Taco Bell, garbage ass food like that. And it's usually like about $11 per order just to drop some of that shit off. And I think after this, it's gonna be my last order for the night. It's gonna get me to $50 on top of the 200. I always make 200 on Uber and Lyft. I don't stop doing Uber and Lyft until I hit 200, 220. Then I put 20 in gas and I pocket 200 into my savings. But I made an additional $50 doing this. But this time, yesterday I made $60 in 2 hours. Today I made $50 in 2.5. Maybe if I didn't have to spend 20 minutes charging up the phones to get back on the road, or having to stop off to get gas twice, I would have probably hit 60 bucks again in 2 hours, but I didn't fucking plan for all of the, you know, just the nonsense that you sometimes you gotta deal with and put up with in life. That mostly is nonsense that your wife throws at you. And when they wonder, like, you know, how come, like, you know, nowadays couples are, you know, just having one kid instead of, you know, 3 to 5 kids like the way they used to back in the days. It's because, man, I feel like if you gotta, the modern day man, if he's got to do so much damn, if he's got to go to work plus take care of the household, like all the house chores, like taking out trash and this, we have an 8-year-old boy. I'm the one always, you know, playing with my boy and keeping him happy and keeping him entertained. Is it too much to ask of you just to make, you know, cook dinner and get off of TikTok and get off of these garbage ass fucking housewife shows? And I swear, like, all we've done to the modern day woman is just poison their fucking brain until it's all brain rot with fucking TikTok and Jersey housewives. They think that's what fucking life is nowadays. They think acting like that is what life is about. Bitching and complaining and giving attitudes like that is what makes a strong woman. No, what makes a strong woman is like a woman like my mom was back in the days. You know, a woman that fucking raised 3 kids, never skipped a fucking meal, always had dinner on the table and fucking cleaned until the house was sparkling. Nowadays, every house she goes into looks like trash because no woman wants to fucking sit there and clean the house for more than 30 minutes. Now cleaning the house has become a part of the man's chores. And it used to be a woman's chore, but now it's a man's chore. But what the fuck do you women want to do? What's left for you guys to do? If you guys don't want to do anything, what the fuck is women, you know, what is there left for women to do? Shit. But I always tell people, you know, when you're about to get yourself in a relationship, always know what you're getting yourself into. Make sure that that person that you want to marry is actually the person you want to be with for life. I'm not saying I don't love my girl to death, but damn, it's hard being with a Puerto Rican chick. A Puerto Rican girl does not want to listen. Now, maybe if I had like a nice submissive white girl, I noticed that the white girls still do a pretty damn good job of listening. Asian girls, it doesn't matter if they're Chinese, Japanese, or fucking Filipino. Those girls listen to every single word a man says. They know how to follow and take orders and directions. They will obey every single order to the T. I have 2 cousins, both Italians. You think they went out there and got themselves an Italian woman? No. Both of them went out there and got themselves Filipino women or a China woman or something like that. And those women do everything. They're over there fucking waking up at the crack of dawn, getting the kid ready, going to work, doing all the household chores, fucking coming back, putting the kid to bed. Shit. But the modern day American woman, they don't want to listen for nothing. They're just here to fucking complain, rebuttal everything you say, make everything struggle and constantly go against you. You know, I've never heard anyone say it's a woman's world, it's a man's world. I never heard anyone say the woman leads the way or the woman leads the household or the woman provides and protects. It's the man's job that they provide and protect. It's your job to follow order and fall in place. But fuck, if you don't want to, then you could go join the other 50% of women that can't find husbands or can't find boyfriends, and they're over there 42 years old with no kid, no husband, and then you wonder why. Why is that pretty girl with no husband, no kids? Because she can't follow orders. She can't do nothing but bitch and complain. So, it's damn awful. Corey says, my wife is white. She don't listen. Corey, man, I don't know, but I always feel like anytime I see like one of my friends and they got like a white girl and it's their girlfriend, or they got a wife that's a white girl, it always seems that white girl is just listening. Like she's scared, like she gotta listen. And but a Puerto Rican girl, all they want to do is rebuttal, argue and yell and fight back and not take one damn single order. And you know, I've dated a lot of type of girls. I've dated black girls, I've dated, you know, white girls, I've dated Spanish girls, I've dated all sorts of girls. And I always feel like the Asian women listen the best, and then after Asian women, you got, you know, your white girls that listen the best. But any kind of Japanese, Chinese, Filipino girl, they always listen. They always got their man's back. Nowadays, a girl that was raised in the United States, growing up on TikTok and growing up on fucking housewife TV shows, you ain't ever gonna get those fucking women to listen for shit. It's like pulling teeth trying to get the modern day woman to listen. Modern day woman has a little bit of money in her pocket. She makes over $50,000 a year. She thinks that she's the king now, and she don't gotta listen. She ain't no longer the queen. She's a king now, and she don't gotta listen and take orders from no one. Funny thing is, without men in the world, you wouldn't have homes being built. You wouldn't have protection from other armies. You wouldn't have. There'd be a whole lot of shit going wrong with this world if men weren't around. But you can't get a woman to listen to a man for nothing. Good Lord, it's fucking crazy. It's asinine. Trying to get, you know, a girl to listen nowadays, or trying to get my girl to listen. But you know, and I love it. Like when you first meet your wife or your girlfriend or something, they're so nice and sweet. And they're doing everything they possibly can to impress you. Their apartments are super squeaky clean and tidy. They're cooking for you every night. Like, you know, they just love cooking. Trust me, after you're with that girl for 10, 15 years, you'll see their true colors. They don't want to cook or clean anymore. They just want to sit there and watch TikTok and shit. But then meanwhile, my wife is going to bitch and complain anytime I'm on the PlayStation 5. If I get on the PS5 and play NBA 2K26 my team, and I'm on that shit for more than an hour or two, believe me, I'm gonna hear some sort of nagging or some sort of chore is gonna pop up that I gotta get done right then and there. It don't matter if I'm just the other day I was playing a game of Showdown. I was up against some tier 1 player. My girl was insisting that I had to take out the trash now because it was gonna rain, and once it rained I wasn't gonna want to take it out. Either way, I was gonna have to take it out eventually. She turned off the damn PlayStation, interrupted the game. I got the loss against a tier 1 player, and it fucking stained my record. She knows I ain't like that. She knows it wasn't gonna make me happy, but she still did it either way because she ain't give a fuck. It had to be her way right there and then. And that kind of shit fucking, you know, like sometimes I'm watching like YouTube videos and I'll see a video where like a crazy girlfriend gets rid of the dude's PlayStation, like throws it in a trash compactor or fucking throws it in a lake. And I'm like, what gives women the right to act so fucking crazy nowadays that you just can't get them to listen for shit? I don't know what the fuck it is, but it's not the way it used to be. It's not the way it was when I was a kid. When I was a kid, my mom had to listen to my dad. That was her husband. That was the father of her children. She had to listen. Now it's not a woman's job to listen anymore. Now it's a woman's job to annoy, bitch, and complain until they get you to do what they want you to do. Fuck, let me tell you guys, one day, and I hate to say this, but one day I'm gonna fake my death. I'm gonna go buy one of those prefabricated homes that you get from like Amazon or you get from like Home Depot. They got this one at Home Depot that looks like a castle after you get done putting it up. Believe me when I say I'm gonna fake my death. I'm gonna buy me one of those prefab homes. I'm gonna buy a piece of land on the beach, beachfront property, and then I'm not gonna tell anyone. And I'm just gonna disappear into the night. And I'm gonna leave some clues for my boy to find so he can know where to find me eventually. But there's gonna be a day where I can't take it no more, and I'm just gonna fake my death and disappear, just like Tupac. My wife says she hates me most of the time, and she threatens to kill me. Corey, my wife half the time, like I can't even show, like sometimes my son will have like my cell phone on him, and I don't even want him to see the text messages that my wife sends me because it's like, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you, I can't wait to leave you, I can't stand you. And I'm like, listen, if you hate me that much, the door's open, you're free to leave. You can go anytime you want. And I just don't understand why women are like that. Like, you know, like I can't even let my boy see those text messages because he'll be like, Mom, what the fuck is wrong with you? You crazy? And I don't want him to think that of his mom, you know, or of women. And it's just crazy sometimes the way she acts, or just the way women act in general. It's ridiculous. It's gone too far. Like the behavior of the modern day woman is off the charts. It's just like, you know, like sometimes I want to get me a woman like, you know, from out of the States, a woman that maybe was raised in a different, like, you know, in a more traditional way. But guys, I'll be back. I gotta pick this up. Alright, I'm back. Hi guys. No more complaining about my girl anymore for the rest of this trip. I think this is my last trip. I'm gonna try to get really, really high. And then go home, eat dinner. And then hopefully I have some energy to jump in front of the game and actually play it instead of just falling asleep in front of my video game that I love. But today was a pretty bad day for me. My girl just put me in a bad mood and ruined my day. And then because of that, work went really bad. And instead of making the usual type of money that I should be making, I'm a little bit behind. And it sucks because I work 2 jobs. You know, I do Uber and then Uber Eats at the end of the night. And then my boy goes to school at 7 in the morning. I have to wake him up. I have to start getting him ready for school. And even if I had a completely crappy day or my girl put me in a bad mood, you know, I can't show that to him. I can't be angry in front of him on a bad mood or complaining about stuff. You know, I have to just put a smile on my face and make sure that he starts his day off good and he starts his day off in a happy mood and a happy mindset, you know, before he has to go to deal with school for 8 hours and make him forget about the argument that mama and dada had the night before. But that's me because I'm considerate towards my son's feelings because I love him, and that's what you do when you love a person. And nowadays, you know, women, I wish women had the same mindset, because I feel like nowadays a woman just isn't giving a fuck about anyone else's happiness but theirs. They're not being considerate towards the next person. And, you know, it's just their way or the fucking highway, or you're gonna hear a lot of bitching and complaining until they get their way. And it just shouldn't be that way. You know, men are real simple. Men just want to go to work, find a good cooked meal when they get home, a nice clean house, and then do the things, the few little things they enjoy in life. They just want to do those few enjoyable things, whether it be watching sports or playing some video games or maybe drinking a nice, you know, stiff glass of whiskey, you know, some shit like that. But, you know, men are real simple to keep happy and make them happy. But a woman is just like, I'm like, oh my God, like, I just sometimes can't deal with that. Sometimes I think I'd rather be single or just a single parent, just taking care of my son by myself. And I'd find a way to make life easier on myself instead of depending on your wife to be there to help you out and do things and make life easier. Because sometimes they're just there to make things more difficult. But that'd be the last of it. Corey, I don't know if you're still here, Corey, but the new 2K promo that came out, that's coming out tomorrow, looks flame. Everyone looks really good in that promotion. I really like the way what is it that Invincible Chet looks really good. Invincible Luca looks really good. There's also Invincible Kawhi Leonard that's gonna be really good. And then the 100s are pretty good too, like 100 Danny Granger, and I forgot if there was the other 100s they dropped, but the whole promo looks really, really good. And I'm halfway excited about it. The only reason why I don't get excited about, you know, the Friday and the Tuesday promos nowadays is just because the pack odds are looking so bad that, like, it's just hard to pull anything. And you know, God forbid you're somebody that didn't stack up MT throughout the year. There's gonna be no way for you to get your hands on any of those players. You know, the Danny Granger is probably gonna be the most affordable card, and I think he's still gonna be about 300,000 MT. So even though I like the promo and there's a lot of, you know, flame players in it, a bunch of flame ass players in it, it just doesn't seem, you know, like nowadays, you know, the chances of pulling anything good is just so damn difficult. I haven't pulled anything good now since like Christmas or like the All-Star event. That was the last time I pulled anything. I pulled a Dark Matter Luca during the All-Star event and some really good Galaxy Opals, and I made a bunch of MT off of it. I'm at 14.4, but ever since then I still haven't pulled my first 100 out of a pack yet. So I don't know when that's gonna happen, but okay, I gotta put in a gate code, it looks like. So, you know, it's really hard to have fun with the game when, like, half of the fun that comes with playing my team is from ripping packs and trying to get the players you actually want to build a team. And when you're ripping packs and you can't get the players you want, or you're not pulling anything and you're not even making MT off of it, it kind of sucks. you know. Okay, hold on. One second, guys. I gotta punch in a gate code. Okay. Hopefully this person that's behind me can let me in, because I cannot find this person's name for the gate code. People leave, like, they order DoorDash and Uber Eats and stuff, and then they don't make it easy for you to, like, just get into the apartment complex. Like, they don't leave enough good directions. Like, an entry code would have been nice instead of having to search up his name. Let's see if I got the right person. I doubt that I have the right person, but I can't get in, and if I can't get in, I can't deliver this order, which would suck dick. And this person wasn't smart enough to, like, say, hey, I'll just come down there and I'll meet you. Or, hey, let me give you an entry code. And just a lack of common sense in the world nowadays. And like I tell people, if we just all, like, help each other out and just, you know, do your part, you know, as far as it goes with common sense, the bigger picture will look better. But the bigger picture never gets better because nothing is ever done the right way. And my bad if I'm in the gloomy mood today. It's just my girl put me in that type of mood. And I don't think no amount of joints is gonna help tonight. Okay, let me see if I can try a different. Okay, hopefully I found the person. Like, I wish you would have just gave me the gate code. That would have made it a lot easier. Hello, is DoorDash?
What do you want to talk about?
Hello, is DoorDash?
Hello?
Hello?
Just kidding. Leave a message after the beep.
Oh my
Send us a
God.
voicemail.
This is ridiculous. It was an answering machine that pretended that it was answering the phone. That's great. This is the only thing I don't like about the job is shit like this. When shit like this happens, it makes this job a lot more difficult and stressful. And I probably wouldn't be stressed out if, you know, I just didn't have to deal with my girl today. Let me see if I could text this person and tell them, hey, I can't find you at the gate code. I need the gate code. You know, I can't believe there's this many people still up ordering food at this time. It's craziness. And yesterday was such an easy day. I thought I was just gonna have another good easy day today, and today's like so fucking annoying. And like, I'm just now sitting here waiting for this guy to open up the gate so I can drop off his food and then be done with my day. This is gonna be the absolute last order because I just don't have the patience for it today. It's like, I already text the guy, hey, type Caruso. I should appear in the box. This guy must be a complete idiot. He wants me to look up the name Caruso, but on the DoorDash order, the name was Adriano. Come on, like, have some common sense. You can't tell me, hey, look it up by the name and then give me the wrong name. And then I'm out here still fucking trying to get this order to you. It's stupid. It's a lack of common sense in the world. Okay, let's see if we can get this.
The wireless customer you are calling is not available.
I cannot believe it. I found him in the fucking in the registry, but now it's saying his phone is disconnected and he can't open the gate.
Message 1, US01 LV.
Now I gotta text the idiot again. I feel like telling this guy, listen, I'm at the gate. I'm gonna drop your food off here at the gate. You've wasted enough of my time. I'm out of here. Like, it's just too much of a fucking hassle just for like to deal with people's like stupidity in this world nowadays. If that was me, I would have given the correct name that I was supposed to look up for the gate code. And then I would have known, hey, it's not gonna work because my phone is disconnected from the gate. I gotta go down there and meet him. But people are so dumb and lazy and stupid. So I don't know what to do, but I'm not gonna. He says try again. Maybe now it will work the second time. Let's try.
The wireless customer you are calling is not available. Please try again later. El cliente de servicio móvil al que llama no se encuentra disponible. Favor de intentar más tarde.
Let's see how long this guy wants to play this game instead of just coming to get his food, because I'm ready to just kick it over the gate and just leave it. That's how frustrated I am right now. It can't be like, the world shouldn't be this. It shouldn't be a struggle for for just people to have common sense. It's crazy work. I meant to say hello to this guy and I spelled hell. Okay, let's see how long this is gonna take because I'm ready to be out for the night. He says he's gonna walk over here now. It only took 15 minutes to convince him to come get his food before it gets completely cold and shit. If that was me, as soon as somebody texts me and says, hey, the gate's not opening and I can't find your name in the registry, I'd be like, hey, I'm coming down there to meet you and get my food before my food gets cold. But it took a good 10 minutes to convince him, hey, come get your food. I can't get through the gate. He doesn't know the gate code and he can't open it from his phone because his phone's disconnected. Like, I don't know what you want me to do, buddy, but I'm not going to sit here all fucking night waiting for you to come to get your food. Like, people need to have more consideration for the next person. It's ridiculous. Oh, I'm about a minute away from kicking it over the gate and just leaving it right there and saying, here's your food, buddy. I'm out. And then what's shitty is that it ends up affecting, you know, your rating, you know, and shit. Okay, I think the person's there. Let me go give it to him. Yep. It was like a fucking stoner kid and shit. I don't know. I feel like I should stay out here for like a little bit longer because I haven't made the money I wanted to make. But I think I'm just gonna go home for the night. Like, I'm so fed up with this day. I'm ready for it to just end. Now when I get home, I'm just hoping that I don't just fall asleep and pass out in front of my game. But, and Corby, I hope you're still here. This is the start. Today is the start of my weekend. My girl is going to her mother's house for Mother's Day weekend. She's gonna bring my boy with her, so I don't have to deal with my wife for the whole weekend. Plus she's taking my boy with her. I told her if she wanted to, she could leave him with me because he doesn't bother me not one bit. I love that kid too much for him to ever be a bother. He's like my universe. So damn, did you see that guy take off? He's got to be doing 120 on a fucking 40-mile road. But I'm gonna have the whole house to myself. I don't think I'm gonna leave the house this weekend. I think I'm just gonna stay home, live off of some fucking frozen dinners and shit like that, like frozen pizza and shit. And I'm gonna just stay on that game the whole day and the whole night. And I'm just gonna sit there and fucking play my video games all weekend in peace without being bothered. And that sounds like a dream. That sounds great to me. And I already got myself a bottle of Crown Royal for the weekend. And I already got my weed for the weekend, so I don't need to go get those things. And I already worked my ass off for the week, so I might just, you know, put in like 2 or 3 hours on the road. But I'm gonna sit home, play my video games, rip packs, and have fun and relax. You ain't gonna see me fucking stressing this weekend with. I always tell my girl, like, the only stress I have in my life is you. I'm like, you're the only thing that stresses me out. Like, as much as I love her, she's like the main cause of stress in my life. Just the arguing. It's just like, I'm like, that can't be good for a person, and that can't be good that you always just want to argue. Like, calm the fuck down, relax, smoke a joint. Maybe that's like the problem with women. Not enough women smoke weed. You know, maybe if some women were just to smoke weed a little bit, they could relax and calm down a bit. Like, maybe they need to smoke a joint or two. Because I know after I smoke a joint or two, I'm good. But anyways, back to the fucking promo. I don't know what Dark Matters are coming out tomorrow, but the 100s look really good, and the Invincible looks really good. And then I don't know why they threw in why they're putting GOAT King James back into the Friday promo. Like, why they're not giving us a new GOAT card, because that would help his price come down. But for some reason, they're putting King James, the GOAT King James, back into the Friday promo for the second time. And I don't know why they're doing that. I've never seen them do that before, and I've been on the game for 3 years, and I've never seen them do that before. So at least they're giving us another chance to get GOAT James, and hopefully that brings down the price on GOAT James, the fact that you have a second chance to get him. But like I said earlier, the only reason why I'm not like hyped up anymore about promos is just because like the pack odds are so bad. Like I don't even understand fuck just trying to understand women. I don't even understand 2K the company. Yo, what's good, Insano? I don't understand why 2K doesn't understand that if you give the people what they want, which is good pack odds, and you let them have fun with that, you let them have fun with ripping packs again, not only are they going to pull what they want and they're going to be happy about it, they're going to be ecstatic, excited, they're going to feel like they got their money's worth. Guess what, 2K? When you give them what they want, they actually come back for more. We're all pack addicts. Everyone that plays my team is a bunch of pack addicts. We all love ripping packs, whether it's free packs or we get them with, you know, buying them. We all love ripping packs. that being said, 2K, make it fun to rip packs again. Let us rip stuff. And believe me, we're not going to stop just because we got the card we wanted. We might stop for like a day or two, but we're going to be right back at it as soon as we get more money to rip packs. But instead, when you don't give people anything to look forward to, when people are out there spending $100 on a Hall of Fame box and all they get is a valueless, worthless, dark matter topper, and they don't get nothing else besides that, guess what? That doesn't leave a good taste in their mouth. It doesn't make them want to come back for more. Matter of fact, it does the complete opposite. It makes you want to not ever rip a pack again. So there's only so many times a person could take the abuse. There's only so many times a person could rip a Hall of Fame box and not get what they want. There's only so many times people could rip packs and get duplicates. There's only so many times people could spend $100 on a 51 pack box and not get anything good or valuable out of it before they finally decide to be like, hey, enough is enough of me just handing you over my money and you giving me nothing in return. This is a scam. But so I just wish the pack odds were better. Yeah, I'm heading home right now. I don't know if I can call it my castle because I'm definitely not king of my castle. The only days I feel like a king of the castle is when I don't have to hear my wife complaining. It's just like, oh. And last year, oh my God, man, the amounts of argument me and my girl had after she found out how much I spent on 24 and 25. The arguments were through the roof. Like, I'm still dealing with some of those arguments to this day. And I'm still, like, I'm almost at the very end of paying 2K 24 and 25 off. I'm just now getting done paying off those two games. And that's why, like, it's not that I don't want to spend a lot on, 2K 26. It's just that I don't want to deal with the consequences of, like, my girl finding out and then, her complaining and, and us arguing about, how much I'm spending on the game or finances. I feel like when you're in a relationship, any sort of relationship, whether you're married or not, your finances should be kept separate. Your money is your money and your girl's money is her money. If you want to buy your girl stuff with your money, that's great, but you shouldn't have to, or you shouldn't feel like you have to, and you shouldn't have to pay for everything. If you want to pay for everything, that's great, but it should be your money's your money and her money's her money, and she should be able to independently take care of herself. It shouldn't be that a woman gets married and then the guy's got to take care of her like for the rest of her life like a child or something and pay for every single thing. I'm not going to work to pay for every single thing so another person can have a good life. I'm going to work so I can have a good life, my son can have a good life, and if I can, I also provide a good life for my girl. But like, damn, first and foremost is you got to put yourself first and your kids. And like, man, if I want to have some money to enjoy the night and rip some packs, like, damn, I don't want to hear shit about it. But my girl turned it into such a big deal for 2K 24 and 25 that for 26, she completely killed that shit for me. Like, I don't even like enjoy ripping packs as much because I'm like worried about how much it's, costing me and shit now. Where before, I didn't even think twice. I was just like, hey, this is fun. I'm being entertained. I'm going to spend and I'm going to rip packs. And I'm not saying he's wrong and stuff. We shouldn't be spending this much money on video games or to play a video game, and it shouldn't cost this kind of money to play the game. And you shouldn't have to fork over so much money to enjoy the game and be entertained. And 2K is basically scamming all of us for our money and making us broke as a joke. But I still love the game. I still have a lot of fun with it. I still enjoy it. I still find it highly entertaining, and I still love playing basketball. I love playing basketball games. I'm an old ass man. I can't go to the basketball courts and play basketball like I used to. Nowadays, I get that fixed through, my video games and through my basketball video game. And what I like about it is, you can play some video games and forget about how shitty your day was. But it seems like the second, your girl will see you happy on your PlayStation 5, she's ready to fucking try to end that happiness. She's like, hey, you can't be happy if I'm not happy. So you always got to keep your girl happy. And that's why they got that saying, happy wife, happy life. Because if your wife ain't happy, believe me, she ain't going to let you enjoy life and be happy. She'll make your ass miserable. So you gotta make sure you kind of take care of their happiness first before you can even get to your happiness, which is really unfair and uncalled for. But guys, I'm pretty much pulling up to my house in the next 2 minutes. I'm gonna eat. Insano, I want to say in the last 2 years, ever since I started playing 2K24, that's the only game I've been playing for some reason. It's the only game I have time for. I don't have time to be playing like 2 or 3 games. I would like to play that last boxing game that came out. I never had a chance to play it. I would like to get back into Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. I love fighting games. I don't have the time to get back into that and learn how to play the new Street Fighter and put together the combos and all that. You know, I barely have time for 2K. I work 2 jobs. You know, I do Uber and then Uber Eats to end the night. And I wish I had time to sit there and play 2 games and, you know, fucking, you know, pick up a second game to play and enjoy, you know, if I'm bored of 2K. But I really don't have the time to play more than 1 game. It's kind of shitty. Or else I would be like into so many other games. Back in the days, I used to be into like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Soul Calibur, boxing games like Fight Night. I used to be into like games like The Legend of Zelda. I used to love playing Super Mario. I wasn't a big first-person shooter, but I used to love Halo up until like Halo 3. You know, I guess Call of Duty sometimes. But I used to be into so many other type of games, you know, like Resident Evil and shit like that. I haven't had a chance to play those games in years. Like, you know, once you have a kid, you don't have time to sit there and play a role-playing game or a walkthrough game that takes 60 hours to play. You know, I have time to load up maybe like 5 to 7 games of Showdown a night. Depending on what time I get home, I can maybe get 5 games of Showdown a night. I always try to get 5 wins a night. And but that's all I really have time for. Or I would play like, there's so many games that I used to love that I just don't have the time for them. You know, who has time to play so many different games when you got to put in 40 hours of work just, you know, a week just to live, just to survive. So I wish I had more time for gaming. I wish I had more time to try out different games, but I just don't like I used to. You know. But guys, I'm about to pull up. I'm gonna eat dinner real quick, and I'm hoping I'm ass tired. But then I'm gonna try to stream some My Team and jump on that game. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. Peace out, fam.